Howdy, carnivores.
Good morning.
Hello.
We are back. We had a little hiccup. Maya got a little under the weather. So she wasn't able to make it today. She's healing up from the flu, but she will be on with us next week. So that's awesome. We're going to reschedule that. So you're just stuck with us today.
Just us.
Just us.
Yeah.
How's your
We're
guys'
happy
week?
for better, Maya.
Yeah. Did I say it wrong again? Maya. Did I say Maya or Maya?
Maya.
It's probably me. I'm wrong.
Maya.
I have to remember that. Yeah.
I think it's Maya, but yeah.
Todd's got tacos on his mind, so that's his.
Todd's always got
today.
tacos on his mind. Oh man, how was your guys' week?
Good.
Lindy,
I think I should start today because you got some news. You finished your fast.
My fast is done. I am
Yay!
broke it this morning.
How many days?
21 days.
Wow.
21. What a machine!
This last week, I struggled with any weight loss. Only down 3 pounds this week. Went up, went down, went up. It stalled my body. It just didn't want to do it no more. It needed a break, so that's why I ended it.
But how much are you down overall after 21 days?
After 21 days, I am down 47 pounds.
Right. So that's more than 2 pounds a day, mister. Yeah. So when you sit there with your only aw shucks,
all of it really was lost in the first 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
First 2 weeks, so this week I only dropped 3 pounds. So. But I'm happy with the results. I feel better. So this week I was struggling with cravings. Oh my gosh. Did I have cravings for pizza? Let me tell you.
Wow. But you were taking the amino acids this week, right?
And that's what I am going to blame.
I believe
for my hunger. And I will tell you, I'm not going to take aminos when I'm fasting ever again, because that's really when my cravings and hunger really stepped up.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I do. I think that's a good thing, but I think it's hard. Here's what I think's happening, and I'm just going off my own personal experience because I've noticed that too. With the aminos, my appetite goes up for sure.
Yeah,
like I'm ravenous, but I'm ravenous for meat specifically steak.
Yeah, that wasn't happening for me. Pizza.
Well, you were on a fast though.
Pizza was on my mind, man, and I had it. I had it in my app. I almost broke. Almost broke after 188 days. I almost broke, man. I'm not gonna lie. My mind was telling me, who's gonna know?
Right. Yeah. That was your old addict. But the good thing is you didn't. But the biggest thing is next time, why wait the extra week? Like just.
What?
But this is good because you know your breaking point. You know when it starts being diminishing returns.
I was gonna break it last week, but we wanted to see what aminos will do. If aminos would start, dropping some more weight this week. So I wanted to give it a few days with the aminos. My body was just done.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, but that's good because you know when it starts having like a negative effect on you now. So you know exactly where your baseline is. That's amazing. So yeah, that's incredible. I definitely think the aminos make us hungry, but I'm starting to think it's a really good thing because the more that the aminos make me hungry, the more beef I eat. Right. The more beef I eat, the stronger I'm getting and the more things are healing up. It's crazy.
I got a lot of support there in the comments.
I appreciate all of you. You guys are all amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome. Are you feeling okay otherwise?
Feeling great. I did have a cup of coffee today to celebrate my breaking of the fast. I did miss that. Did I enjoy it? It was okay. Right. I might give it up. I don't know what I'm going to do. We're going to see. Maybe I'll cut back a little bit on how often I have it. I did enjoy the broth that I had though. And that's all I'm going to have for today is just broth. And then maybe tomorrow I'll have some eggs. Just go slow.
Yeah, good idea. I think both Todd and I struggled with the refeeding. Yeah.
Todd, I know. Yeah.
What? I thought I was doing it okay, and I just wasn't. But now I know. Now I know. Yeah, you can turn your butt into a pressure washer or whatever. So and don't do that.
Yeah. and I
How
just
was your week, Lindy?
Yeah, I've had an interesting week. Yeah, my daughter has a few health issues, complications from her diabetes, so that's been a little bit difficult to navigate. But I've been sort of helping her out a lot, so I haven't really done much else at home. But she's now fully carnivore, strict carnivore, to try and get some healing in place. And it's sad that it takes an event like this to actually turn, to make you think about changing your ways. She has been sort of thinking about it for the last year, but couldn't commit. But yeah, finally it's happened. She's now carnivore, and hopefully that can help, fix things a little bit. So yeah, but apart from that, yeah, just keeping busy with her stuff and helping her out a lot. So it's been quiet on my front otherwise. Oh, we did go to the Viking restaurant. That was amazing. Very, very pricey, but we all had a good time. Tomahawk was 220 Australian dollars AU, which I think is about 147, $150 US. My God, that was good. Don't think I'll be able to afford that one again that price, but a once in a lifetime experience was phenomenal. I loved it. So I don't know. A tomahawk's cheaper in Texas because, if you guys want to do one then.
They're about the same. I will say this, I think they're way bigger here. Like if I've never bought one cooked because I just don't trust other people to cook my steak anymore. But I'll get a 3-pound tomahawk here for about $90 to $110, somewhere in that range for a prime
Mm,
3-pound tomahawk, and it's wonderful for sure.
yeah. But it was an awesome experience. All these staff dressed up as Vikings. They all had little daggers in their pockets and chains, and they were in character as well. You had the Viking music going, and you just all these big bone foods, like really rustic and raw. It just felt like you were in a Viking hall. That was so cool. So definitely something to do for a special occasion. I think you have to do it at least once, and if you win that lotto, you can do it a lot more. But it cost us nearly $1,000, $1,000 for the
Mhm.
night for 5 people. The kids all had cocktails, so they're like $40 to $60 each. So that sort of bumped the price right up. But otherwise, beautiful meal. Oh, Viking restaurant. It's just a Viking themed. Um, I love the movie Vikings. Have you seen that series? It's one of my favorites, and it's just like those type of
Mhm.
Vikings. Hey, you've got Viking blood, haven't you, Todd? You said.
Mhm. Yeah, that's my heritage, and that makes sense because we're short, stocky little dudes. Short, angry, stocky men. I'm not very angry, but but we're built for the cold for sure. Yeah, no, I'm Norwegian,
Yeah.
and our history, our ancestry is Viking for sure. But yeah, I think it all checks out. I love meat. I eat like a Viking for sure.
Yeah. Oh, if I ever had my way, I'd love to come back in the Viking times. I think they're all pretty hot. I love those guys.
Exactly. Although I'm not going to get the dreadlocks. I don't think worked out. I missed the boat on that. Yeah, but man, I was just thinking you're gonna have to take some after pictures now that you're the incredible shrinking Michael. Yeah, update the montage there, the intro.
I will.
Yeah. Because you're now over 6 months now, are you? Have you hit your 6 month? Yeah, so
188 days today. Right? Yeah.
That's awesome.
it
That
goes
is
quickly, doesn't it?
super quick.
I wish I had a fast forward button.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be
But
pressing it. But it does go quick.
I
Yeah.
used to be right there with the fast forward button, but I really am starting to enjoy the process quite a bit lately, because I keep waking up, There's so many ups and downs, but I'm learning a lot, and it's also shaping a lot of other skills in my life as far as patience and, just
Mhm.
you know, I don't know, just I'm just more calm and patient about things, and I'm just really learning to be happy where I'm at, and just letting things work out,
So much
content
better where we're at now than where we used to be.
for sure, And it's funny because we go back and forth. I was sitting here going, it's just that diet mentality is so stuck in your head that it's weird because it still comes back and bites you in the butt. I was sitting here because I just got done doing my fasting, and now I'm doing, lion diet. But all of a sudden, this is again coming back to the aminos, but because I think it's spawned from the aminos, but I don't think it's a bad thing. But I was, I was craving a ton of meat this week, and I was eating, I don't know, on average, probably 65 ounces of steak a day, and sometimes up to 80, which is like 360 to 400 grams of protein a day and about, 300 grams of fat. And I was like, man, is this counterproductive? Should I be eating this much meat every day? Like, what is going on? And it just creeps in your head. And because, the scale doesn't move or it'll even go up a little bit. But then I took some pictures because I finally got kind of a camera set up and whatever. I could start using this chart. And I took some pictures and I was like, oh, yeah, this is working because you just don't see it. And when you're just looking at the scale, you start questioning yourself. And then that spawned me to think about some things and just how easy it is to move. I'm doing that hit axle now, and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's just day and night different. And then Michael did an awesome we'll show it to you sometime, but an awesome overlay with one of my old pictures. And I think you got the scale right because that's about how much when I pull out my old jeans, that's about how much of my old jeans sticks out. And I was like, why am I beating myself up about eating meat? I should be doing this like if my body wants, 200 ounces of steak a day. I don't even care anymore. I'm like, I, oh yeah, that overlay right there. That wasn't even me at my biggest, that shadow. That's the one picture that you've seen of me that Michael did an overlay. But yeah, when I saw that and I was just like, look at those skinny legs. Like I look my upper legs, I've. Never seen them that tiny.
Yeah.
And so I was like, why am I even worrying about this at this point? It's just I should just let it do its thing at whatever pace that it wants to do. Keep eating the meat that it wants to eat, keep having the energy that it's given me, and just keep lifting and working out. And whatever comes out of it's going to come out of it. But I'm just going to let my body do the talking and stop. You know, Raymond said a great point. I said, it's just annoying me because I made certain plans that I wanted to do over this next 90 days. And Raymond says, what's that old adjective? If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's true. I've uh I've got to this physical specimen by following my own ideas. I better just let my body do the talking and just listen to it. So yeah, it's funny. That's why I'm
At the
really
start
am
of
starting to enjoy the process.
yeah, the start of my journey, this was all about weight loss. I just wanted to lose weight and lose it quickly. But now uh, my thoughts have changed completely. It's more about the healing side of things. I don't care. The weight will come off when it's ready to. I'm just the confidence I've gained, just the way I'm feeling, mental clarity, just so much happier living my life again. That's more important now. I just want to be able to do what I want to do, get out in the world, do my things. And I'm still a big girl, still got a lot to lose, but there's no hurry. As long as I can get out and do things, get out in my car, go for a drive, be there for my kids, it'll come off when it's ready. And when I stall, I'm just like, oh, well, my body's obviously healing somewhere. I've still got a few little dodgy hip and a few little aches and pains here and there. I just think it's prioritizing that and it'll just fall into place. I'm trusting the process as well. So it's just funny how your mindset changes. It's like it's no rush. I'm in this for the long haul. This carnival
Right.
is for life for me. As long as I'm feeling this good and things are improving and as they are, that's all I care about. So
That's
Absolutely.
all that
and
matters, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, let's enjoy this because this year, this next 12 months and the 12 months after that, it's going to go by quick. And there's no use skipping the lesson in this because we're all learning so much about our health and our body and, just everything that it's teaching us. It might as well just buckle in and enjoy the ride, and just kind of get there and learn from it. It really is working.
Mm. And I had quite a few challenges for January, and I pretty much failed most of them. The only one I've kept is keeping consistent with my carnival. The exercise has gone out the window, and all the other plans that I had. I did do the 5-day fast, which was awesome. But life happens. I didn't expect my daughter to get ill, um, and that was such a big thing, something I have no control over. A lot of the issues in my life I have no control over. The only one thing I can have control over is what I put in my mouth and keeping consistent with carnivore. And I guess that's kind of keeping me focused as well. I don't want to lose control of carnivore and go off the rails because then I'll have control of nothing in my life. So I think having so many things, life happens, all these things going on in your life, at least I'm doing the right thing with my diet and keeping on track there. And I really hang on to that. I don't let that fail. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I haven't failed too terrible much on my plans here. I haven't done as much yoga that I was planning on doing or hoping to do. So that's probably the only thing I failed on, but that's also because I started doing more resistance bands and doing the hit axle. My brother bought me this hit axle and I started doing that and I'm really enjoying it. And also I got on the floor because I was like, okay, I am actually in better shape than I thought as far as I didn't have to do the bed yoga or the chair yoga. But then I did get on the floor and I'm like, this floor is hard. So I ordered a yoga mat that just actually got here yesterday. And so now I'm going to be hitting the yoga. So I got a slow start on the yoga, but I did do some of the bed yoga, but I actually swapped out some of the yoga for the hit axle and some resistance band training. And I also have some light free weights, and I just bought a new weight bench that I put together the other day just so I can do some
And that was a
light free
workout.
weights. That was workout putting the weight bench together by itself, actually. But see, this was one of the things that was making me realize my progress because I couldn't have done that even 4 months ago, to be honest with you. I could not have built that weight bench. It's a Rogue weight bench, and they make very, very good weightlifting equipment, but it is heavy, heavy duty bench. It weighs like 175 pounds. So, just to be able to bend over and lift up the weight of all the steel and line it up and bolt it together, I didn't have the stamina to do that 4 months ago, if I'm being totally honest. I couldn't have done it. I did it without being tired, winded, or, any of that stuff. And just when I was doing it, I'm laying my wrenches and stuff on the ground bent over, and I'm like, man, it just feels like the ground's about 2 feet closer to me now. You know what I mean? It's like I can reach the floor, and it's not like this big out of breath. My blood pressure is, running to my head, and my eyes are going to pop out of my head because, back in the day when you try to bend over and you're so big, all the blood would rush to your head, and it felt
Get
like your
dizzy.
eyeballs were going to pop out of the sockets. And it's like, oh, I can just bend over and work on the floor, and this isn't like a real problem right now, you know. And so that's why it just popped in my head. I'm like, why am I sitting here? Because honestly, here's the deal: I lost most of my weight in the first 7.5 months of carnivore. And then I stalled out from month 7 to about month 9. And that was because I was only eating one meal a day and it was only 1,700 calories. So I really tanked my metabolism and my body was just shutting down because then I started getting tired. I was getting weaker again. And how that happened was I was progressively eating less and less and less because I thought it was going to give me bigger results of losing more and more weight. And I was concentrating on the weight and I was in a hurry. So I was, even when I was carnivore, I was still restricting. And then I found Lindy and the SBG gang and found out about priming. And I was like, oh, that's what's happened to me. My metabolism's tanked because I've been under eating. So then I primed, and through this roller coaster of priming, what is the end result was I basically, in the last 5.5 to 6 months, basically month 7 through now, which is, it's been almost a year and 1 month. It's a year and 21 days. I gained about 12 pounds, and so that's stuck in my head. Not that I gained 12 pounds, but that I haven't lost more weight in, 6 months or whatever, 5.5, 6 months. But I went down 2 shirt sizes. I went down multiple pant sizes, but because I can't see, I don't look in the mirror much. I don't stand in front of these posters. I really should take more pictures because that eases my mind when I can see that instead of the scale. So just that scale is in your head bugging you. But then I realize, well, that clearly is, if my shirt's gone down 2 sizes in that last 6 months, and I'm so much stronger, that's clearly lean tissue, and it's just changing out. It's a composition change. And I even know that. I'm smart enough to know that. And I've been in these meetings long enough to know that, but still getting it through our stupid compulsive heads is difficult. So that's why this week, just because I made all these plans for the New Year's and Carnivore month and all these things, and I was sitting here fighting it, because now I thought I was going to be needing to go into this fasting, this every other day fasting real easy. And my body had different plans. It was going, actually, you need to eat 80 ounces of meat today. And I'm like, no, you need to get with the program, body. We're supposed to be fasting today. And now I'm sitting here questioning why I'm trying to take the reins away from my body that got me this far in a year. It's like, no, I should just let it keep doing what it's doing, because I'm just doing this because of the scale. So anyhow, that was kind of a realization I had. I'll get off my soapbox. That
Oh,
was
you're fine.
basically
No,
the
that's great.
realization.
This top I bought nearly 25, 30 years ago. I wore it maybe twice. It was very fitted around the stomach at the time, and then I couldn't wear it anymore. It's been hanging up in my wardrobe, and here I am wearing it now. It fits better on me now than when I actually bought the top. So yeah, I'm like,
Right.
I wish I had kept more of my skinnier clothes. I threw a lot of them out. I don't know why I kept this one. Because all my larger clothes now are getting to the point where, like, the shoulders, the neckline's down here, like
Right.
they're just falling off me around the neck. The neckline is just so loose that I'm actually at that point. I need to buy new clothes because I look really silly. So I don't know. I'm going to have to try and make do until Texas. I don't want to buy any clothes yet. But the scale hasn't moved a lot. It's very, very gradual now, but my composition is definitely changing. Like
Yeah.
a few months ago, I'm probably still around the same weight. And I did try this top on and it was very tight. But I'm wearing it this morning and it's loose around my stomach. So yeah, you just don't pay attention to the scales because composition is definitely happening.
Yeah. And it's more real, and it's more important, and it makes more and more sense the more that I really just let it sink in. And that's what I was happy. I wasn't planning on taking any of these pictures just because I'm like, it just in my head, I was like, I'm gonna take new pictures at a certain, like when I'm 400 pounds or something. That's what I wanted to do. But I was just like, it's been too long. I need to take some update pictures because I know I always regret not taking more pictures. So I just made myself do it. And I don't know, even buying smaller clothes, I still couldn't see it until I took pictures and compared them.
Right. It's
You
hard
know,
to see the changes in yourself.
it's
Other
super
people
hard.
notice them. Yeah. You look
Yeah.
at yourself all the time.
Yeah, and I mean, this is gonna sound stupid, but it was just I was trying to make a point out of myself, thinking about where's this weight, like this muscle, where's it benefiting me. So I just started doing things that I couldn't do before and actually making a mental note of it. And what was interesting was just getting up just getting up out of these chairs and stuff, and this sounds stupid for anybody that hasn't been our size before, but the amount of preparation I would have to do to get out of a chair was ridiculous, you know? Like I would have to really get myself mentally prepared for it, back the chair up into a corner so that it couldn't slide around, brace myself, grab stuff, you know. And I mean, I'd have to like rock and blow out of this chair to try to get up, right? You know? And then now I don't, you know, I can put both my hands in my pockets and I can stand up. But not only can I just stand up from any chair without pushing off anything or have to brace myself, but I can do it at a snail's crawl and I can hold my body weight balanced at any position from a squat all the way down to standing up. Like I'm completely balanced and in control. And I can do it without being tired or shaky or out of breath, you know? And to me, that's nuts because just 12 months ago, half the time that I was getting out of a chair, I was worried I was not going to get out of that chair this time. And so, you know, I was going to end up on the floor and somebody's going to have to call a, like a crew of people to get me up, you know, that was just
Yeah.
12 months ago. So it's real. The composition's real. Those skinny little legs, the reason why they're skinny is because that's where all that meat was going. All the lean tissue was going there and eating my meat, you know, eating all that fat off my legs. And that's why my legs are stronger, you know? And that's why I joke with these guys. I'm like, man, I go to scratch my butt at night and I'm like, whose is that? It's not mine. It feels different, you know? It's crazy
But
stuff.
also all that edema's going as well, isn't it?
So much of it's gone. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
and now that the edema's going and I'm getting extra droopy, I'm like so looking forward to the skin surgery. I'm like, just getting all this skin off is gonna feel amazing, you know? It's gonna
Yeah.
be incredible. Yeah.
If Michael found one of my old videos, I think it was about 6 months ago, and compared it to a recent photo, and it's like, wow, I don't see the changes until you see the photo side by side. It was pretty amazing.
It is. We gotta do that.
Yeah.
We gotta do that more often just for our own mental whatever.
Yeah. You look in
Yeah,
the mirror and I still see 800 pounds.
I know.
It's like you don't see any changes. It's like I still look the same, but then when you see photos side by side, he's like, "Who is that person? Oh my god, what a difference!"
Absolutely. It happens to me too. It's so crazy.
Yeah,
Let's
I had a
see
big
here.
win. I think not last week, the week before. I actually cut my own toenails for the first time. I've never been able to do it, and because I've got the dodgy hip, I used to pull my leg up and I get cramps, even though, like physically, I could probably do it. I just couldn't get my leg up to do it because of the cramping, but I was able to this time round, and I think that's just the extra fat that I've been having, and I've
Yeah.
really been
The
the
swelling in the
priming as
legs.
well.
Yep.
Yeah, and I didn't get the cramping, and I was able to cut my own toenails, so my husband's kind of feeling like, "Oh, she doesn't need me
Yeah,
anymore." Like, he's getting a little worried. It's like I've become a little Miss Independent. He's like, "Can I do your hair for you?" Like, I couldn't even lift my arms up to put my hair up at night, and because they were just so heavy, my arms used to get tired, and now I do it all by myself, and he's like, "Can I do it for you?" And I'm like, "No, I'm fine." "Oh, okay."
let's
Yeah, that's
let's
quite
see
good.
here. I got we got a few questions I was gonna put up here before we get too far past them. This one's for you,
Does
Michael.
Michael do feasting now after the long fast? I just joined SPG and love their plan.
I am going to just stick with broth for a few days and then bring in some eggs and then slowly just start eating again. I'm going to take a break before I do any like major priming or anything like that, I guess. And then probably then eventually go back into what do you think? 36 ADFs or something, alternate day fasting or something like that for a
Yeah,
while.
I think so. I would recommend definitely priming for like I don't know, probably a good 2 to 3 weeks. I would think because I was surprised that. Well, I don't know. It could have been the amino acids too, but man, it took me a while to get my brain
Appetite back up.
right.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're see, I'm good. I'm actually clearer now. Even when I was on the fast, the only time I would struggle with brain power was in the morning when I would took me so long to wake up. But at the end of the day, I was nice and clear. I was good. That was amazing.
That's awesome. Let's see here.
Todd, curious what benefits you are getting or wanting from the aminos.
Well, I don't know exactly that I even had a specific set plan of benefits that I wanted from them. I had some, but mainly it was for a couple of reasons that I started it. One was just because Raymond was experimenting with it, and a lot of people were having, all sorts of, just all across the board, benefits of tissue, and brain function healing up, and tissue healing up, and inflammation healing up, and just things healing. Uh, basically just getting really nourished, And I'd had enough experiences with things, vitamins and electrolytes early on in my carnivore uh, kind of journey, that I knew that it was true that from, from eating such a bad diet for so long, I was deficient in a lot of things. And I saw the benefit in taking a bunch of electrolytes at first and what it did for me, taking certain supplements that I was missing out on. And I thought, well, sure, this makes sense. This could be the same thing. If we're supposed to eat, 2 or 3 pounds of good, beef a day, for like a man my size or whatever, to get the protein in. And I didn't do that for roughly 40 years. I have quite a deficit of amino acids. So my goal and kind of the idea was, let's see if we can't speed up filling in this gap, this deficit of amino acids that your body needs. So that was basically the starting plan. With that in mind, what I was hoping for it to do would be, I knew I was going to do fasting, and the only benefit to being overweight this much is that you do build quite a bit of muscle, and you can fast and get rid of a lot of fat, but you're also going to lose some muscle too when you're fasting. That's just going to happen after a while. And so what I was trying to do was get into retaining the muscle and even maybe building new muscle while burning fat, so that I didn't go from being really big to really small and then have to build muscle from a deficit again. I didn't want to do that. I'm trying to retain the muscle while losing the weight, what you need the amino acids for. So that could help, because if you take the amino acids, it'll help you retain muscle while you're in a fast. So that was the plan. But then, unbeknownst to me, other things started happening. I started growing hair. I didn't even tell you guys. It was hilarious. It was so unsettling. I had to, I was grooming up and shaving my head and stuff this week. And I don't know if you guys don't know this, but I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for my glasses to get here, because I can't see nothing right now. And they kept putting them off. Supposedly they're supposed to be here next week, but they've been telling me that for like 3 weeks. But anyway, so I don't see very good. So I got the mirror and I was looking real close, and it was startling because all over my head, where I haven't grown hair since I was 18, were like 1 inch long, very thick black hairs. This only started growing since I was taking the amino acid, but it was very unsettling because it was like I was a 40-year-old newborn baby that was growing hair. Because babies they'll grow real thick black dark hairs, but they're kind of just spotty all over, and so there's all this room. That's what my head looked like, and I was like, oh, I gotta shave that. It looks so unsettling when I saw it. But my hair is growing for whatever reason, and I'm not saying I'm ever going to grow a full head of hair. I have no idea if that'll ever happen, but that is a sure tell sign of health, that my body's healing up, that I'm being, get my body's getting the nutrition that it needs. And then I also, my lymphedema and edema started really healing quick, and I started moving a lot more fluid without fluid pills and during the day. And Lindy saw that too, and Raymond saw that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's just healing up, and that's all that I've noticed so far. Other than now, I'm starting to find a link between taking the amino acids and having a ravenous appetite for me, it's for meat. Now, Michael was saying it was for pizza. I think that was just because he hadn't eaten in 20 days. And I think that's where the pizza was coming from.
Yeah.
I think if he was in the habit of eating meat
Right.
in front of him and making roasts, that's what you would have been craving with the
Craving.
amino acids. But and so that was bugging me, right? I was like, is this a bad thing? But the thing is every time I go and eat this 80 grams of protein, 80 ounces, 80 ounces of steak and 400 grams protein, when my body's like freaking out and wanting it. I thought it was starting to be confusing because I was tired too. Like I was, I used to only sleep. Well, I don't even know if I can say used to. Don't have a good enough sleep record to tell you exactly a pattern. I can tell you I was used to sleep 2.5 hours in spots. And then I started finally feeling great. And I thought I was doing great because I started sleeping for 5 and 6 hours. And I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. Started feeling better. Now I'm sleeping for like 7 to 9 hours. It's crazy. My body's just been wanting to sleep. And that was worrying me because I thought, well, am I overdosing on these aminos? Am I not feeling good? And when I was talking to Coach Raymond and Emily, they're like, I don't think so. I think actually you're taking those aminos. The aminos are calling for much more protein, and then you're getting so much nourishment and building blocks in your body. It's trying to put you to sleep so that it can do some healing, And I can't say that they're wrong because as I'm doing this, my legs are healing up fantastically. My skin is getting much better. My posture. This sounds stupid, but I grew an inch and a half. I grew an inch and a half in height, and I don't think I actually grew. I think what happened was my posture, my back straightened up because
Yeah.
everything. So I don't know. It's healing. As long story short, is the aminos are making me heal. So I just wanted to heal whatever it needs. Needs the aminos to heal for is why I keep doing it now. So
I just wanted to go back to your eyes. You can't see, and that's because they've improved so much. Your prescription's now too strong for your eyes.
Right.
So
it is.
yeah, that has improved as well, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, do we want to show that? Can I see? You want to pull that off of WhatsApp?
I will in a second. I just have a bunch of stuff already queued up to show.
Oh, yeah,
for
cue it up.
upcoming questions. But
Okay.
I'll bring it up in a,
We'll
in a
come
few
back
seconds.
to that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to the next question. Sorry. There we go.
Hi, Jen. I'm down almost 30 pounds in 2 months and already feeling so much better. I'm 46 years old, and after basically unknowingly damaging my poor body with the SAD, I'm going to savor all of the healing. Yeah, congratulations
Jen.
on that.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
fantastic.
It's
Yeah,
real.
trust the process. It's the best thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
So true. And it's powerful. And I mean, I get it, after 40 years of doing elimination diet or calorie restrictive diets and all this stuff, it's a head trip. You don't want to let your appetite just open wide up because you think it's bad, but it's actually a great thing,
Really good for you.
Yep.
Hi, Pearl. Todd, what is hit axle? I think we've got a picture.
There we go.
How do you use it?
Just
Oh,
like
there we
this.
go.
Yep. Now, I don't make it look as easy as this guy. I'm not gonna lie, but it is one heck of it's a one heck of a core workout. And man, so I don't do it for my toes yet. I just do it for my knees. So I do like a knee to arm plank, and I try to get it as flat as possible. And then it's just, man, it makes my abs burn like crazy, and it's just really helping my back. My back feels better doing that. It's just clearly it's just a really good core workout that's just making me much stronger. And I'm enjoying the heck out of that thing, man. It's really working. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but it's just giving me a range of motion. It's just helping with my core exercise, but it's just also loosening up my shoulders. I always had a problem like between my shoulder blades and my back, and it's just making it all feel better, to be honest with you. So that's what it is.
And let me just pull this up before we go on to the next question.
It's fine just looking at it. Oh goodness. Yeah.
There's your picture, Lindy, and I'll get something else ready. Go ahead.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like didn't even see the changes. I still see, see my old self. But when you put the two photos together, that's a huge difference.
Oh, it's a huge difference. And it's funny, right?
Yeah.
Because we really can't see it. We're really blind to it until we line them up, and then we're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's that's big. It's so weird how we're blind to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't remember when the blue one was taken. I'll have to see if I can find a date for that one. But yeah, there's a few months difference in that. You
Yeah,
definitely tell around.
it's only a few months difference because that other one was August.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
August 18th was when that picture was taken, and you can just see the difference in it was like 4 months, if that.
Yep,
yeah. It's
absolutely.
amazing. But the scale doesn't move a lot, but obviously things are happening. Things
Body
are changing.
composition changes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hi, Pearl. Lindy, do you know anyone who is a seamstress that can alter some of your clothing? I probably could find one, but I'd like to buy new clothes. I don't know. All my clothes are like years and years old, and like even my larger tops, they're all so stretched and out of shape. So I think I'd just rather go and treat myself to some new clothes.
There you go,
But I
Todd.
do want to wait a little longer.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
this. So yeah, this is an email my doctor sent me, but yeah, I'll let Lindy read that because I can't. Because of this very problem.
yeah, it is my privilege to deliver these Optimap retinal images, which demonstrate an improvement in blood vessel caliber, an improvement in retinal circulation, and absolutely no diabetic macular edema at the time of today's examination. I am astounded by the improvements you have made in your health and would like you to know that I am rooting for you throughout this process. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns, or if there's any way that I can help.
Yeah, and so he
So,
just took these retinal images, and when he was talking to me, he was like, you know, your eyes, you know, at first he goes, I asked my assistant if these were the wrong images because they didn't even look like your eyes because I just had a checkup. So I gotten these glasses in April, and I had this done in December. And I was like, dude, I can't see out of these glasses now. What's the deal? And it's because my eyes, my edema went away in my eyes, so the inflammation went away in my eyes. So my eyes, the prescription, this prescription on these glasses I got 7 months ago are wrong now, and so I had to get a brand new prescription. And it was because all that that diabetic edema, muscular edema, is gone, completely gone. And so he was like, "These didn't even look like your eyes from 7 months ago." So yeah, I mean, the healing is very, very real. It's incredible for sure.
amazing.
It is.
There we go.
Oh, yes, Lindy, healthcare becomes both easier and actually enjoyable. It is. I love having my independence back and not having to rely on anyone to do little things like that. You know, it's embarrassing having to ask your husband to cut your toenails and, you know, put your hair up. Like he's an expert hair plaiter now. um, yeah, I don't never like to ask him to do things. And yeah, now that I can do it myself, I just love it. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hi, Jan. Is anyone taken 2 drops of the 2% iodine daily, considering taking it for its benefits? I do have some, but I just like add a squeeze every once a month whenever I remember. I don't do it daily. I don't know if it is benefiting me at all. I just do it because
Right.
Dr. Berry says it's good. So,
I'll
yeah.
take some. I'll take a couple drops, maybe once a week.
I take what is that? Sea calp pills every day that's got the iodine in it. That's what I use. And I feel good with it.
Michael, you did great. I did a 20-day, 3-day water fast about 2 years ago, and I saw it jump started my healing journey.
That's what I'm hoping
23
happens to
days.
me. Yep.
Yeah,
Awesome.
amazing.
It is.
If
I
you,
agree, Laurie.
It feels a little bit like a torture device, but actually once you get used to it, it makes you feel pretty good. And I'm looking forward to, the other reason that I think it's going to be good is I don't know if I think they call him the knees over toes guy. I think that's literally the name of his YouTube channel. But I know it'll take you to him if you search knees over toes guy. But see, everything in due time, but I'm trying to heal my body and fix things that I know are a problem. And I think that I'm gonna have to start doing these knees over toes exercises. And so basically that's what the aminos did, baby. Michael's been Michael's been playing with Photoshop again.
I love it.
But so I'm letting my knees heal up because I had knee surgery on my right knee, and back when I was 32, the doctors are like, you're gonna need knee replacements by the time you're 50. So I'm trying to prove them wrong because everything else that the doctors have told me up to this point was bullshit. So I'm assuming that this can be bullshit too. So yeah, I'm definitely I'm taking it slow, but I'm going to get to where I'm doing the plank from the toes to while I'm doing it. And then that I believe is actually going to very much so help my knees. That's why another reason that I'm kind of excited about it.
Hi, big man Alaska. Todd, do you think the extra aminos helped with your eyesight? If so, what are you using?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think it's all helping. At the very least, I think that
Eggs too.
yeah, eggs.
Eggs.
I was eating 36 eggs a day. I think it was the eggs. I think it was the amino acids. But at the very least, what the aminos do is it kicks. Well, here's another big thing. Sorry, I'm rambling, but as usual. But when I started taking the aminos, one of these amino acids helps your digestion, right? So one of the big reasons that I couldn't eat as much was because I couldn't digest meat very quickly. It was taking me 7 to 8 hours to digest a stomach full of meat. Well, now I digest a stomach full of meat in about 3 hours, and I greatly contribute that to the aminos. So, with that said, what I was going to say is I don't know how much the aminos themselves by themselves play into it, but I know that the aminos giving me a greater hunger for meat so that I end up eating a lot more beef. I know that that combination of those two things is absolutely why my body's healing up, and the ones that I'm using are the optimal aminos right now because they're a lot cheaper than the perfect aminos. So these are the ones that I'm taking.
I think Now was the other brand that they recommend, which is cheaper again.
Yep,
But I found it's hard to get them. They seem to be sold out everywhere. So,
I do.
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, thanks, Diane.
All right, what do we got?
Medieval machine that
I told, hey, I'm a Viking. I told you.
my spine hurts just looking at that machine.
I agree that it seems like it would, but actually, if you start on your knees, and it's not as bad as you think because depending on how close you get your knees to the machine, you're more upright, so you can kind of ease into it. So if, you can start backing your knees away until you get as far away as you can. And that is where I'm at, as far as way as my knees can be with and still having my shoulders lined up over it. And then after that, you go to your toes, and then it gets really tough because they have this little cart thing that you put your feet on that's on rollers. And so then you're on rollers. So now you're having to, instead of having the friction of your toes into a static surface, now it's on rollers. So you have to keep your toes pulled up to the bar by keeping clenched and pulling yourself up. And that adds an incredible amount of difficulty. I do believe that'll be a year before I'm using that particular part. Even that dude that was on there wasn't using that part because that part makes it hard. So
I posted some links for amino acids for the benefits of it. 2 videos, one with Emily and Raymond from SBG, the interview they did with Dr. Regina, and then another video, the importance of amino acids in the body.
Perfect. Thanks, Michael.
Nope, my fast ended today. Ended 5 hours ago, and I'm thankful.
The 21 days. And Dan, how many pounds?
47.
47 pounds. Amazing.
Yeah, just absolutely killing it. Let's see here. I'm going through a few more of these. The blind leading the blind here. looking through the chat. Kimberly.
You guys crack me up. I love watching you. Thanks, Kimberly. Michael's pretty good with the Photoshop.
He's doing amazing. He loves to torture me, though. He doesn't Photoshop anybody else, but man, he puts me in some situations.
Oh, I might be on a Barbie body tomorrow now that you said that.
Lindy's perfect the way she is.
Oh, isn't he sweet? Thank you, Michael.
I'm just kind of going through these. I'm really putting you guys on the screen so I can read it. It makes the letters bigger.
Todd, on the other hand, needs all the help he can get.
Todd knows that. Todd's perfectly aware.
Have you tried taking your glasses off and see if it improves?
I do. It's equally as bad, but that's what's bad. What's funny is that my eyesight is as pretty much as bad without my glasses as it is with them. It's just bad in a different way, and I've gotten used to how I can tilt these ones and squint. So
hopefully you get them this week.
Yeah, they told me so. First, they told me that I'd have them 3 weeks ago, and then they said, "Oh, we're sorry. They had to back order your lenses," and I did order some fancy glasses because they have both a glare guard lens in them for driving in the snow at night, and they also have a blue light blocking lens. And so I complicated it by getting kind of a complicated pair of glasses. I pray that they're not going to be some hot pink looking lens or something when it gets here, because it's going to be stupid, but whatever. I want my eyes to get better, and I look at screens so much. I really want the blue light blocking lenses. But with that said, they had to back order them for 2 weeks, and they were supposed to be here 3 days ago. And then I called them 3 days ago. I'm like, "Where are my glasses?" They're like, "I'm so sorry, but at least they did receive your lenses, and I can see on my computer that they're in etching right now." So that was on Friday. So she thinks it's going to be here beginning to the middle of next week or this week, whatever you want to call it.
Sure, she said next week or next month.
It could be next year at this rate. It's super frustrating.
Hopefully you get them.
Yeah, hopefully we do. Let's see here. Yeah, appreciate it. No worries, John. Yeah, I hope it helps you. What is this one? Well, I appreciate it that
Rambling I do, because everything you're saying is true.
my ex-wife did not think the same thing. I gotta tell you, my ex-wife thought that my rambling was not true. Howdy.
Michael and Todd and Lindy and everybody. Hi, Ali.
Oh, there we go. I go back to the start
Hi,
comments
Arlene.
now. You could have said something, Mike.
Oh, I didn't know. You're in charge. You're in charge.
I'm not in charge. I'm blind. All right, so we got that one. There we go. You already got that one, I think.
No.
Oh.
Can you press delete for the sea kelp iodine?
Oh, what do you use, Todd?
The Dr. Berg ones. Yeah.
Oh, Dr. Berg. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. He is looking pretty baby faced today, isn't he?
He is. He looks very baby face.
He does.
Nice and clear and happy.
Hydrated.
Carnivore glow. Although I haven't been carnivore for 21 days.
Excuse me. Man, today I'm thirsty.
Michael, 21 days, 47 pounds down. Way to go. Amazing. Congratulations.
He is.
Thank you.
He's a machine.
Todd, I was wondering if that vibration plate is good for neuropathy.
Absolutely, it is. I mean, uh, you know, I'm putting it all together. And so the bed, the vibration plate, the priming, all those things, and also moving your legs. So that's why I'm just enjoying walking on the treadmill. I'm enjoying the vibration plate. I'm enjoying when I'm on the vibration plate, I stand on it and I do calf lifts, on the vibration plate. And then I do squats on the vibration plate. And then I'll lay down on the ground. I'll put my calves, which is where most of my edema is. I'll put my calves on the vibration plate and my toes hang off the end. And I just do circles with my feet the whole time. And that seems to really help, and just try to move my toes back and forth. And then I even recently bought this thing. What's it called? I just ordered it. I think it's called the toe. I don't know. It's like the toe stretcher. So it clamps to the back of your heel, and it's got a strap that goes over the back of your foot and then hangs up for your toes, so that you can put your legs up and stretch your feet out. So you pull on it, and it stretches the back of your hamstrings, which is supposed to help the back of your lower back, which that's always been a tight spot on my back. It's going to stretch my hamstrings, but also I feel like it's going to stretch like my calf and my Achilles heel out by bringing my toe up closest to my shin, if you can. So I'm going to be doing that next, because I'm just trying to get as much movement, because I just noticed when I get enough movement, blood flow happens. I get more blood flow to my calves and my legs, and then the neuropathy goes away. The neuropathy heals. It's slow, but it definitely does heal. And as soon as I get small enough to fit in it, you can bet you I'm getting a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. It's going to be a big splurge, but because that is the best thing for healing neuropathy that I can see, is creating new oxygen or new capillaries and deep tissue from hyperbaric oxygen therapy, because it'll get to those nerves and it'll feed that tissue with blood. So that is my next plan for neuropathy. What do you guys think on your neuropathy? You think the shake plate helped a bunch?
It helped me.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had my left foot was always very numb and like pins and needles all the time. And I use my vibration plate under my desk because I sit a lot with my computer work. And sometimes like have my legs up on my toes or have my heels down, and so you can feel all the different muscles working while it's vibrating. And just doing the different positions helps me a lot. If I didn't have this, when I try to get up, I'm like a 90-year-old woman. But when I use this, I can just bounce out of my chair, go around and do things around the house, come back. So it's really saving me. I've had mine for about 3 years now, so it's made a huge difference.
Oh yeah, I've just had mine since November, I think I got mine, or end of September or something, or October.
Yeah,
Um, Now, and before that, I was only able to use it just sitting in this chair. Now that I'm able to get up on it, I use it all the time. Just about every time I get up, I go to the bathroom, I come back, and I stand on it for at least 10 minutes.
Oh,
I'm using dumbbells while working on it,
look
and
who's
I
in here.
noticed the difference.
yeah. Love
There
you,
she
darling.
is. Hi, Catherine.
Man, fellow carnivore Catherine.
That's right.
Yes,
Yes.
the Carnivore. So
Awesome
I was
job.
so proud of her. Yeah, it's
That's
doing so
awesome.
good.
We're all so happy that you've joined us, man. I can't wait to see all the healing that's going to happen.
Yeah. Todd, you deserve to be tortured since you're sending Michael pics of your meals while he was still
Yes.
fasting.
Thank you, Diane. Yes. I'm on my
I,
fast, and my phone constantly goes off with all his meals. First, he'll ask me, "Are you still fasting?" I didn't even respond yet, and all of a sudden, I get 6 pictures of all his steaks. Yes.
sure.
This morning we sent some chili pictures. I'm like,
Yeah.
where's mine? He gave some to his sister and all to his family. I'm like, well, where's mine? I'm still waiting for mine.
You want to show them the chili pictures?
Sorry, that's my daughter.
Oh, she's got him.
eating steak right now.
Nice.
That's in the background. Oh, darling.
There's his chili. This is what he sends me today.
That was brisket that was sous vide for 74 hours, and then I made a berry consomme, and I simmered it. The brisket, I simmered the sous vide brisket in the berry consomme for about 6 hours.
Yeah, this is, Michael, are you still fasting? Oh, let me show you some of my pictures of my delicious steaks, my brisket, my meat.
Uh,
And he sends me a
it's-
whole gallery of different pictures. This is so when you wonder why I make fun of his
why you put
and I
me in
do
tights. It's
Photoshop.
fair.
Yeah.
It's fair, and
Yeah.
it's a good trade-off. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Lindy doesn't do that, and that's why she don't get pictures made.
Todd,
Oh, that's my new weight bench.
Yep.
See, I built that, and I'm very proud of that because that thing is a heavy son of a gun. And 4 months ago, I couldn't have built that. Yeah,
Right.
Butte. I'm so excited. I'm starting to gather a whole army of rogue weight equipment because I'm going to be a rogue gym nut later in life when I'm healthy enough to be.
videos of you working out.
I'm gonna. I'm waiting for the rest of my weights.
You know what? I forgot. Lindy did send me a picture of her meal.
There you go.
That's from my daughter. It was at her house. We had shrimp and chicken and beef.
I like the barbecue. That's a nice barbecue.
That's awesome barbecue.
She's so good at it. She bought me one for Christmas and I hardly use it, so I'm going to have to pull it out.
It's a nice one.
They're my fur babies, my grand.
They're like, when's the food done?
They love fire. They love smoke.
Yeah.
They're so beautiful. They're my babies.
They are awesome dogs.
Nice. Yeah.
I forgot about that, Lindy. Now next week, people watch what happens to Lindy. That's it. Payback.
I'm going to be calling sick next week.
For sure.
Be kind, Michael. Be kind.
One compared to 150 of Todd's.
I'm definitely gonna be shoveling them out. If I just give in and I let the meat cravings go wild and I just eat all the beef, I'm gonna be making some wild crap here pretty soon.
We better watch out. Todd might get handy on the Photoshop too, so we've still got to behave a little bit.
I'm not worried about it. You don't have none of my pictures.
Oh, I have your pictures.
Todd, would it help if you wore your glasses near the tip of your nose?
Unfortunately, no, because I have astigmatism, and so that's funny. He loves torturing me, but that's fine. Put him out there. That's funny. No, because I have astigmatism, so it's like trying to remember which way it is, but my eyeballs are basically shaped like a football, and they need to be shaped like an oval, or my retinas or whatever are shaped like a football. So they get very little up and down, like at the 12 and 6 o'clock. There's hardly any adjustment in the lens, but as you go around, the most adjustment is at the 9 and 3 o'clock positions, and then it fades in. So it's just weird how they have to put it in there in the lens in your point of view. But the problem is however they do that for the angle of the football your eye is shaped like, my football is shaped like a different football now, basically. So now all that magnification where it was right to make it an oval is no longer right. So I didn't explain that very good, but that's basically, it's not like being near or farsighted, it's astigmatism. That is the issue. Let's see here. Am I missing any comments? Oh, here we go.
Lindy, I just love that you are such an animal lover, including our native fauna. Yeah, I do love all our animals.
For sure.
Yeah, except for mozzies and flies and snails. Not a big fan of them, but anything else I love. I was helping Catherine set up a wedding the other day on Saturday. It was at a farm. There were cows and horses everywhere and the flies. Like we were literally being attacked by flies while we're setting up these flowers. I was like, God, I only had a zapper or some AeroGuard to try and get rid of them. Nasty, nasty. Hello from East Texas. Go Carnivore for Life. It works. Yay.
It
Is
does.
Austin in East Texas or?
Austin is central, I thought, but I don't know. I'm trying to
Mm.
think.
You going to keto on
Southeastern.
Marvin?
Southeastern?
Oh.
Are you coming to KetoCon? Yeah.
Mm.
We're going to be there.
Catherine reminded me there's some ducks at when we set up the wedding as well. So, yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, if you're going to KetoCon,
Central.
let us know. Oh, there you go. Because we're thinking of doing a meetup, some steakhouse or something would be nice. Or Austin is central. Okay, thank you, Missy. I still haven't got my US map. I need a map so I can put little pins everywhere.
Let's see. I think we caught up on the comments. Do we want to open up and see if people want to come say hi?
Sure.
All right. Oh, all right. So I click this button. I click that button. I click this button, and I click paste, and I click the send. And there we go. Anybody want to come chat with us? We are say hi.
Click the
We're
link
yeah, click
and
you too can be part of the Cool Kids Club. You already
The
are.
original. The original.
and you don't need a hash.
You don't need a hat. It helps. It does help.
Does
You
help.
don't have to have one. But you do look cooler if you have a Resistol cowboy hat. Or what's the what's
I'm
the
not as cool as Michael and Todd. I don't have a hash. We can work on it. Click the buttons, Todd. One will be right.
Oh,
Sorry. There you
See
go.
what happens when we all click buttons?
I didn't click nothing. It's you two. Top row.
I won't touch. I always break things anyway. So.
So let's see. What are you guys' plans for next week? We're gonna have. Well, I guess I got a few things. I think I'm gonna be on Carrie at Homestead How on the 30th. He's got a. I'm just gonna be on for a minute. I think he's having people come in, but he's got a fundraiser on the 30th with Dr. Eid. So I'll be on with that, and then.
Dr.
Let's see.
Georgia
Yeah.
does a lot of nutrition and mental health, doesn't she?
Yep, she does.
Yeah.
So
That'd
that'll
be
be fun. Lindy's been doing what's the name of your other live stream? The Aussie
The Aussie Connection
Connection.
with DC Primal something. Sorry, I've forgotten. He's only new on YouTube, so please forgive me. And Rod from Live Long Strong, something like that. He's also on there. But I don't think I'll be doing this Tuesday. And Dave Mack, he's on there as well. Because he's formerly from like 5 minutes down the road from me, but he's currently living in Japan. So we did one last week, which we highlighted all the Aussie slang. It was a bit of a competition to see who could get all our Aussie words.
Nice.
But yeah, I won't be in it this week, but I'll just pop in from time to time.
DC Learning to Live, the Primal Timeline, Zero Carb, and Amazing Limitless Lindy.
That's awesome.
There's not many Aussie YouTubers out there, so yeah, if you're interested in starting up a channel, let me know and I'll hook you up with the guys and you can come and say hi. It's nice to have some more support here.
For sure.
I'm going to go out and get another crew bro. Yeah, I'm going to have to get one too. I did borrow my son-in-law's Akubra, was it last year, end of last year for our show, and I miss it. I love it so much. It's a good fit. I do feel pretty cool with it on.
Yeah, it is. It's your guys' basically cowboy hat, right?
Yeah, Crocodile Dundee wore it.
Crocodile Dundee. Huh?
Yeah.
So, yeah, when you come to Perth in 2025, you and Michael, I'll buy you both an Akubra. Take home.
That would be awesome. Sounds like Keith's gonna make it, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, I did an interview with Bella recently, so that'll be going up on her channel, so you guys can watch that. That was fun. That was a really good time. And yeah, let's see. Next week, I am going to start making some videos of the torture devices that I call exercise equipment. I'm going to, it's going to be a video. This is going to be my starting point video so that you can see my improvement in the years. It's not going to be a how-to video. This is a how to survive it video, not how-to video. I'll put
It'll
some,
be good to film it now and then, give it
You see
6
the
months or
improvements.
whatever
Yep.
and see how your form improves and, you'll probably be a little bit wonky now, but then later on you'll be much stronger and you'll be looking like that guy on the video.
with any luck,
So-
God willing.
You will. Trust the process.
A
You'll look pretty
miracle.
good. Yeah.
For sure.
Keep positive.
Then I'll be like Raymond taking pictures of my shirt off all the time. Let's see.
I think I'm going to try and film a video after this because I'm a bit overdue with mine. I've got so much footage and they're just trying to put it all into a video and it's hard work, but I'm going to try and do that today and get another update out.
I even hired a dude to help and I haven't sent him a video yet. I feel so bad. I'm so bad at this. I'm so procrastinating. That little dude's like, well, I'm gonna hire you and I want to put out a lot of videos. He's like, sir, could you please send me a video that I can put together for you? I haven't sent him one in 3 weeks, Michael?
Yeah, 2.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I find their lives are so much easier to do because we're just a couple of buddies having a chat. Whereas when you sit down and you're talking to yourself on a computer, getting the words and.
We're only friendly when the camera's live. Tell them the truth. Michael's
a lot more friendly when he's not fasting. When he's fasting, he takes things real personal, like meat pictures. he starts bitching out a little bit and taking it out on me on Photoshop.
I'll be eating this week. I'll be in good mood.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know how it goes.
We did, Pearl.
Yeah,
Todd. Did
Todd
mess up? No. No, Todd, you never posted.
I did too.
Oh,
I posted it.
Well, let somebody know.
Is that not posted right there?
Is it? I don't see it.
I can see it. It's on your channel only, I think.
Oh, that's what I did wrong.
Yeah,
okay.
You only posted it to yours.
All right, sorry.
I got it.
I got it.
I got it.
Oh, I got it. Now we posted
I ain't touching anything.
That's funny.
There you go, Pearl. Should be in there for you. What's the deal with electrolytes? Do you folks take them?
That sounds like a Jerry Seinfeld. That's how Jerry Seinfeld starts pretty much every one of his comedy things. What's the deal with electrolytes? It's I don't. That just popped in my head the way you said that. I take the Dr. Berg ones. Yep.
I take them. I took them while I was on the fast.
I have
every couple days.
Yeah, I don't take them often. Just every now and then I might pop one once a week or once a fortnight. They're expensive and I don't feel I need them. I do okay without them, but if I do have a day where I don't eat and I'm feeling a bit lethargic, I might take them. But or if I feel a bit backed up. I might take one just for
There
the
we go.
magnesium. Hi,
Hey,
Pearl.
hey. Hi, Pearl.
Hi. How are
Hi,
you
Pearl.
doing?
Good. How
I'm
about
Good,
you?
thanks.
We're doing
How are
awesome.
you?
How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Just relaxing.
Are you over your flu bug? You were quite
Huh?
sick at one. Are you over your flu? You were sick at
Yeah,
last time.
yeah, I am. I'm just still a little sore from falling a week and a half ago.
Oh
But
dear.
Takes time.
but it takes time, yeah. But yeah, I guess the sun's going down a little bit, so I don't have my room light on. But I was on watching Homestead. How was it yesterday when he had the Carnivore brothers there?
Yeah. Yep.
And what was really neat was they had asked you, like, what are some of your favorite things, to eat? And I said that I haven't had the luxury to do prime rib like a lot of other people are talking about. But I did mention that I've done beef cheek a few times. And the one brother, I think his name's Ashley, he actually was wondering, about how to cook it because he actually had some in his freezer. So I was able to uh, send him the information on that. And he said he's going to try it. But it was so neat to have something that to share that was applicable, And, sometimes I feel like, well, I don't have a lot to contribute, but it's nice when, you do, you know?
For sure.
But, I just appreciate it every time I get a chance to listen to you guys or talk with you or anything, But
Well, we appreciate you visiting with us. I'm going to pull this up for Sandra too. She accidentally put apple cider vinegar on a cooked steak. It's awesome, isn't it? It is like,
It's really good.
yeah, I got it because I was going to bring that up. I made,
It's
yeah. If you didn't tell, I made a brisket. I took a 20-pound brisket and I sous vide it for 74 hours. And then I took it out and I was like, what am I going to do with this thing? That's a lot of brisket. And it's like, I want to do something because there's so much fat rendered out of the brisket. So I saved all the fat and all the juice and I put it in a pan. And as I was cooking it, I was like, you know what I should make is like you guys ever have chili Colorado from the Mexican joints?
I've never heard of
before.
it.
Oh wow, it's famous here. I love it. It's basically beef chunks with like a chili sauce, like a verdict,
Okay.
And so but they call it Chili's Colorado. And so I was making like a carnivore version of Chili's Colorado. But it was vinegar based. And so I made a chili Colorado brisket chili and I chopped that up into little squares and I put that together and it was very heavy on I put like 3 cups of apple cider vinegar in it. And man, it was delicious and everybody loved it. And it man, it just when I have rendered fat, because there's how much fat's on a brisket, and I didn't trim the brisket at all. And so I let everything render down. So I bet I got a half a gallon of rendered juice and fat out of that brisket. I mean, it was a lot, like 60 ounces of it. And it just made the best consomme or sauce, whatever you want to call it, with that vinegar. But that vinegar really helped emulsify that fat, and so I don't have I don't have a disaster pants problem. Like, it all digests, it doesn't just shoot through you, because that
Yeah.
vinegar, so it turns into energy. It was quite amazing. I definitely would recommend that for sure.
What's really good too is when you've got most of your meat eaten and you got a lot of that broth, if you take a bunch of eggs, whip them up and just cook them slowly in there, it thickens it. It's almost like it makes like coddled eggs. It's like really good. Oh, it's just
Yeah,
amazing.
it's
You know.
delicious.
Oh yeah. It's a way of getting your eggs without it tasting like eggs,
Yeah, right.
Right.
And it's sort of like turning your broth into a stew almost,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like because it gets a little bit gelatinous, a little bit gelatin like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can also use a little bit of xanthan gum, which I'm on the fence whether it's bad or not. I haven't had any bad side effects with it, and you just put a little bit little bit in there, and it'll
Yeah.
it'll solid up like a real thick gravy. I'm quite
Yeah.
enjoying that.
I've bought xanthan gum, but I haven't tried to use it yet.
It's really easy. You put in like a table, it depends on how much liquid you got, but for 60 ounces, I'd put in about 4 to 6 tablespoons. And then you bring it to a boil. And then as soon as it comes to a rolling boil, you stir it up good, with a whisk. And then you just bring it down to a simmer, and you simmer it and simmer and stir for about 10 to 15 minutes, and it'll get super thick, and it's wonderful, but without
Yeah.
any gluten or carbs or fat or
Right.
any of that stuff,
I got to try some hot sauce last week at my daughter's house, and I'm addicted now. I absolutely love that vinegary hot taste. Then she bought a smoked one, which is even better. So I'm going to have to go shopping and get some of this. I think it was at Chipotle.
Yeah,
sauce?
Chipotle Tabasco. Yep.
Yeah, Tabasco. Wow, that was a game changer with pork. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so
something
good.
different.
Try the
Yeah.
jalapeno Tabasco, the green one.
Okay,
That's
is that
my
really
favorite.
spicy? Or
No, it's same spice level as the other two, but just that's my favorite taste is the jalapeno Tabasco.
Yeah, it's got a zing. It has zing, but no sting to it.
Yeah,
okay, well, Catherine, if you're still on, do you want to grab some? That could be lunch next Thursday.
Yeah, my favorite is actually half jalapeno Tabasco and half red Tabasco, those two together. And I make kind of a little sauce out of it. And I coat it in it. And then, man, is it good. Like I slice my steak against the grain, about 1/4 inch slices. And once it's sliced up, then I just douse it both in there. And then I mix it up in the bowl in the hot sauce, and get it coated. And oh, man, those are good. But all vinegar, it's that vinegar base. And I feel great. That stuff digests so well. I feel better every time I have it.
Now, are you using the apple cider vinegar or the white vinegar or what?
Apple cider, but not Bragg's anymore because freaking Gates bought it and ruined it.
Did you find a new brand yet?
Yeah, I did. I think it's called Highlight.
Highlight, okay.
Yeah,
because I want to get another container of it.
Yeah, I bought the Highlight one this time, which was organic and natural, but not Bill Gates GMO crap.
Yeah, peels shit. Yeah.
So if you do like a brisket in your slow cook or whatever, or how you did your brisket, you put 3 cups of vinegar. Could you put Tabasco in? Would that be the same effect, or is that too much?
You would probably need
it
a
would
lot
be too. You'd need a lot. It would cost you a bunch. But what I did, I put Tabasco in with it to spice it up. But I just put the apple cider vinegar and I put 3 cups because you would need $15 or $20 worth of Tabasco to make as much vinegar as I put in there, and it would probably be a little overpowered with cayenne at that point.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, what I did was I did about 3 cups of apple cider, and granted, this was 20 pounds of meat. This was 20 pounds of brisket. So
normal size for Todd.
I call it a Sunday brunch. but it was 20 pounds of brisket, and no, we lost Pearl.
Oh, I'm here. I just the room's dark.
Sorry, on mine yours went away. That's crazy on my screen. Huh.
Well, you also are waiting on glasses too, so.
Oh, no worries.
You have to smile more.
But so I put 3 cups of apple cider vinegar in there, but then I put about a half a cup of Tabasco in there of red Tabasco in there. So
I like when I've got a bunch of leftover cooked meats. You just put them in with some of your bone broth and just make a whole new flavor,
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good.
Absolutely.
That's what helped me get through the first couple of weeks when I was sick was the bone broth and the meat broth with the eggs and stuff like that in it. That got me through the first couple of weeks, because I didn't want to throw up. So that was the safest thing. And it gave me the energy I needed,
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, Gates unfortunately did buy it, and he's got this. What's that spray that they put on that shit now?
Peel. It's
peel.
a peel that they put on the apples now to make them last longer, and it's
Yeah, you
not good
can't
for you.
wash it off, and it's toxic as hell.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Want to read that one, Lindy?
Yeah. Hi, Adam. I'm late, but wanted to say I enjoy your chats. You're all doing so well. I'm down 184 pounds in 497 days.
Wow.
That's
All
awesome.
right.
Congratulations,
Awesome, Adam.
man.
6'1", have gone from 365 to 181. Hit my final weight goal of getting to over 50%.
That's
You're
awesome.
getting there,
Fantastic.
buddy.
Great
That's
job.
awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Al. He's got a follow up here.
I enjoy hearing all your thoughts on fasting. I've been OMAD line the entire time, but have been starting some 48, 72-hour
48, 72.
fast over the last few months. Your insights have been helpful.
That's
I
awesome,
think the
man.
48, 72s, that's probably all I'm going to do. I don't know if I'll do another 5-day. That was good, but it is a long time, and I think I'd get the same benefits just doing the shorter ones, maybe more often. That's my thought.
Yeah. Oh, here's a question for Pearl.
Hi, Pearl. How do you make your beef cheek meat?
Well, I had an Instapot. The Instapot. Make sure the beef cheek is thawed out. I don't put it in frozen because it's like a big hunk. And I'll chunk them into like 3-4 ounce chunks. That way they'll cook evenly. But I put them in there, and I just put whatever seasoning. Like I had a Cowboy seasoning that had black pepper and sea salt and garlic and things like that in it. Just whatever seasoning that you're comfortable with. And it's fatty enough to where when you slow cook it, I would have it on low on the Instant Pot. I'd do it like 24 hours. And I don't put any water at first. After about 12 hours, if you need to add a little bit, you can. But I just put it in the slow cooker, the Instant Pot, and just let it stir it every couple hours. Let it, the longer it cooks, the more it just falls apart. And I was told over at Sam's when I bought my first beef cheek in November that it's, one of those things that's, tough if you don't slow cook it. So it's best to slow cook, but it's got some of the best flavor of any of the meats without spending a fortune. So, I usually do it for 24 hours, sometimes more. And then I can add a little bit of water if I want. But I just, and then when you eat it, you got chunks of meat and chunks of fat. And it's, I grew up being told, trim the fat. But beef cheek is so good, meat, fat, and all. It just,
Yeah.
But, and then, like I said, after some of the meat goes down, then I'll whip up some eggs and mix them in there and let them cook. And, and if I have some other meats, I'll add those to it too, after, the initial thing. So I hope I explained it. It's just simple. It's just an Instapot, just basically slow cook it, slow and long,
Mhm.
but it is so good, and I like to just eat it with my chopsticks,
Mhm.
so
Delicious. Yeah, that stuff's
it,
good.
I'm
it is.
very
It melts in your mouth. The longer you cook it, it doesn't dry up because it's sitting in its fat, and just it's been a lifesaver for me. It's like my clothes are starting to fall off, and I just got to be careful I don't trip on things and fall on the ground anymore, But it's exciting, the scale's not budging a bunch right now, but the clothes are my body's shrinking, so that's what counts,
That's all that matters.
and the mobility
And you're
mobility's
feeling better,
improving.
right? And you're feeling
Huh?
better. And you're feeling better.
Yeah.
That's what
And
matters.
if I hadn't done I started out keto for the first year and a half and then went to carnivore the last 6 or so months. If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be alive, or I would be in a nursing home somewhere where they just feeding you poisonous carbs,
Mhm.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
I'm able to get on the floor and play with my grandchildren, and you know, um,
You have your independence. That's what's most
Yeah.
important.
yeah, I do, and
Carnivores don't get put out to pasture.
right, um, you know, everybody. It's like I try to tell everybody, like at the Sportsman's a week ago, I was trying to tell the guys there about what you did, Todd, about eating a bunch of eggs, and it improved your testosterone, and you dropped a lot of weight and everything. And people think, well, how's that possible? I'm like going, you just got to check out these videos. You got to check out these videos. These are awesome people. I said, it's true. And these same people saw me between 370 and 400 pounds, and now I'm around 245, 250,
Yeah,
and they see the difference, in my body, and
absolutely.
I don't hardly ever use my cane, just usually if it's snow or ice, just you need that third leg balance, but
Yeah.
just I at this point you just have to let your life speak for itself,
Yeah,
um
just
but
yep.
at the same time it breaks your heart when you see people getting sicker and sicker,
It does, but everybody's got to get to that point where they're ready. But the good news is when they are ready, when they are to that point that something's got to change because things got serious. That's what's great about this carnivore community is that we're there to show them the real example,
How
no
to do
bull
it.
crap.
Yep.
Yeah,
Seeing is
so
believing.
it is.
I haven't the question there is about I
The
haven't
pressure
used the
cooker
pressure
method.
cooker yet. I've only done beef cheek twice now. I'm not real skilled with the pressure cooker part yet. I'm up to learning. I just haven't done. It's like when something works, it's like you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's just the way I am. Um, but I just love all the different channels and learning the recipes, and eventually I'll start doing some of the recipes. I just got a lot of work to do in my home before I can be um, fully. In my kitchen.
Takes time.
So anyhow,
I just love to keep things simple. I love my air fryer and I do love my slow cooker. Put it on and forget about it and then just eat. And I'm
yeah.
very primitive in the way I eat, just eat with my fingers. I'm terrible. So I don't go to restaurants.
I'll
Yeah.
be honest. I loved the fast because I didn't have to cook it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make it better for sure. That is the best part of a fast. Second, I guess, to the weight. They want to know, Pearl, if you've ever cooked a beef heart. I got on, but it's
Uh,
still in the freezer.
no, but I'm sure we'll check that out. Um, I'll have to see if they have it at the base. I go to Scott Air Force Base for most of my meats. I do go to Sam's. Um, I've the only thing I've really cooked. Well, I had got this big, huge slab of meat that I got it cut into like thick T-bone steak type things, and I've done pork belly. I did pork belly. I thought maybe it was going to ruin it, but I enjoyed it. And
Pork
then
belly's so awesome.
um, I'm trying to think. I haven't experimented with too many things yet, but I'm game for it.
I cooked beef heart before, but I grind it up with my ground beef, and so it's just ground in with the beef, and I just cook it like hamburger. It's good though. I like I don't mind beef heart at all or beef tongue. Those are my two favorite. But I just the liver.
Now I've never tried beef tongue. How would you cook that if you did that?
You braise it at first because you got to get the skin off. So you braise it and then you slow cook it, and then you chop it up. And you basically, once you braise it to peel the skin off the tongue, then you treat it like a chuck roast in a slow cooker. And you cook it very similar to that, and then you chop it up in little tiny squares, and then you mix it with like a Mexican, spicy consomme, and then you make tacos out of it, and it is delicious. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I love it.
I've also done lamb chops in the slow cooker and also on the gas grill.
Those are good. Yep, for sure. Question for Lindy.
Hi, Sarah. Do Aussies eat more lamb or is it just a major export? They do eat a lot of lamb. I've only just really found lamb. I've never known how to cook it. But I've recently been buying the lamb shoulder. I do like loin chops. But yeah, that's becoming my new favorite over beef recently. So I am having a lot more lamb these days. It's pretty good.
You guys ever watch Cowboy Kent Rollins on YouTube?
Yeah. The cook, right?
Yeah, the cook.
Yeah.
He does like the chuck wagons and the iron cooking, and
I used to watch him all the
Dutch
time.
oven. I love that dude. I watch his stuff all the time too. And but he gave me an idea yesterday, because I am going to start making my own sausages, and because then you can control what's in them, make them clean.
Right.
And but he used ribeye instead of veal, and so I was thinking I want to start making some sausages with like ribeye or veal and lamb, and start making some sausages that's going to be kind of he uses a few seasonings and stuff, but since it kind of opened things back up when I was dealing with Raymond, and he doesn't have a big, he thinks that dried seasonings are kind of fair game as long as there's no sugar and stuff in it.
Right.
That opens it back up to making sausage and stuff. And I've been toying with it a little bit, on the dried stuff and the pickled stuff, fermented stuff that gets rid of the oxalates. And it's opened up my diet a little bit. Like right now it's not, because I'm doing the lion stuff, but later I think I'd like to start making some sausages, because I think you could make some really fun stuff mixing lamb and veal, or lamb and ribeye, or veal and ribeye. You could start making some, and like beef and pork even. You could start making some fun sausages.
Have you seen Two Crazy Ketos? They do a lot of their own sausages and stuff too.
I don't think I've seen those guys yet. I'll have to check them out.
Joe and Rachel, they're down there in Florida, but it's called Two Crazy Ketos, spelled with K and a K, 2KK, Two Crazy Keto. But they also have made their own carnivore crisp, because it's a lot cheaper, to do it yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
And they do jerkies and things like that.
Lindy made an amazing ground beef jerky that looks delicious the other day.
I had some from brekkie this morning. It was really good.
Yeah, it looks delicious. I definitely am going to be trying that next. Yeah, absolutely. I love Cowboy Kent. He's got an awesome show.
I'd seen one or two of his shows about 6-8 months ago, but I haven't watched them recently.
I got it. I even, back before I was carnivore, I even got his cookbook and some of his sauces and stuff, and his jalapeno relish is delicious.
I bet that's good. I've seen that. I haven't made it yet.
That is so good. In fact, I used to make his baked beans a bunch, and man, his baked beans are phenomenal. Big hit. His baked beans are the ones that I make at 4th of July. Yep.
Well,
yeah, it's blackstrap molasses. So you just get Bush's baked beans, and you drain the juice and you rinse them. But you start with those as a base, and that's what I liked about it, is you didn't have to go like soak your own beans, and then it's like blackstrap molasses and bacon and mustard and chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. I can't remember everything, but man, it's everybody loves it. It's one of the few things I actually miss as a carnivore. It's Cowboy Kent Rollins baked beans. They are amazing. You put those on the smoker. Oof.
Yeah, I grew up with dried beans, butter beans, kidney beans, all sorts of beans to make. My mom made homemade chili all the time with dried beans. But with having had diabetes for almost 25 years, it's like, it's not an option for me anymore, and but I mean, I grew up loving beans, and but now Chris Cooking Nashville recently he made refried beans without using beans, and
Right.
you'd have to check out his video.
I know, and I watch his videos, and I'm like, that's cool that you did that, but sir, you are a sorcerer. he does some of the crazy stuff, and it's so complex. It's like I feel like I cook fair, but that guy's like at another level, like where you got to block out a third of your day to make, to make like potatoes or something, right?
Yeah, just it's like he's got you must have a special line to Heaven's Kitchen, on
Yeah.
Carnivore Cooking,
Yep, exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, he does use a lot of hatch green chilies. And when I was keto instead of carnivore, I used the heck out of hatch green chilies. Well, Costco's got hatch green chilies in the jar. And man, that was one of every week I was buying a jar of those hatch green chilies and I was putting it in everything, all my taco meat. Gosh, I love those back in the day. But who knew oxalates were killing us all?
Well, evidently the doctors knew it the whole damn time. Well, sorry about that, but the whole time, I don't know, just it makes me
Yeah.
mad. I'm 64 and a half. For 50 years, I obeyed them.
Mm-hmm.
For 50 years, 5 decades. And diabetes, I ended up with endometrial cancer and all sorts of stuff because, and gout and morbid obesity, just doing what they said.
Yeah.
Thing is, you do what they said, and they swear that you're cheating. No, it's what they told you to do was the wrong thing for you.
On purpose. They told us on purpose.
So then when I had seen Beat Diabetes with Dennis Pollock, where he talked about, how to use your glucometer. He calls it Mike the Meter, He said that's the only true authority about diabetes and weight loss would be Mike the Meter. He said, so he called it, what is the best diet? He says the low spike or the no spike diet, if you look that up. And so I started doing that. And my doctor at first was going, you don't need to test your sugars before you eat, half an hour after the last bite, another half hour later, an hour later, wait 2 or 3 hours to check your blood. I'm going, no, because you don't see this spike. So I did exactly what he said. So if my sugar spiked 50 or more, that was off the table. If it stayed 30 or below, that was an option. So basically pastas, rice, potatoes, breads, crackers, most fruits, all those things were like, no. If I want a piece of fruit now, I'll wait till the last bite of my food to have a bite of fruit. And that's it. But, it's been freedom. It really has.
Oh, absolutely.
And my doctors, like I said, they fought me at first until all the blood work. One time the lady, she's from Pharmacy D. She works with diabetes patients and Coumadin patients. She goes, about a year ago, she goes, well, I know I'm the professional, but I think I need to learn from you a bit. That made me feel so good,
And how long you been carnivore
my
now?
diet, huh?
How long you been carnivore?
Somewhere between 6 or 8 months. I started keto in August of 21, and I know for at least a year and a half I was doing keto, and then I've been hearing about carnivore and slowly transitioned. So I don't know, about 6 months or more, but it's not been fully rigid because sometimes I want some zucchini and mushrooms and bean sprouts, and I'll add that. So I'm, ketovore. What is it? Ketovore, between keto and carne. You know, um, so, but the only vegetables I felt comfortable with were, like I said, bean sprouts. I don't have any oxalate problem with that, and zucchini and mushrooms. And so that's about the extent of the vegetables. And I do like lemon in my water sometimes,
Yeah,
but
so
once in a while, maybe just a squeeze of a slice of orange in my water, but not really, not really chunks of oranges or anything. And I do like my Mio. It's you know, got the uh, artificial sweeteners, or some of them have stevia in it, but I do herbal teas, and whenever I have any of those things, it's like very diluted, you know. But I'm the only thing is I did realize that I was fasting too much and not priming enough. So listening to you guys talking about priming has really been educating me. And I've been moving towards trying to do that. I'm just not structured and organized with that part yet.
I think it is the missing element. It's so funny, but so I don't know. To me, especially from a biblical standpoint, the more I see things clearly, the more I realize that everything's 180 degrees out. So it does not surprise me that the element that we're all missing is actually eating more and not less.
Yeah.
I was like, of course that's the answer.
Well, over this last year, I've been hearing a lot of comments. Um, I know that the proper human diet involves mostly meats, and but part of me is like trying to place, it's like, I mean, I hear people arguing right, left, meat, vegetable. It's like, okay, God put us in the garden. The thing is, the fruits and vegetables aren't the same as they were back when Adam and Eve were in the garden.
everything's
Uh,
been changed. Yeah.
yeah, the soil has been depleted. If people would go back to let the livestock,
Well, and I also think it's different. I think if you're really looking on, obviously this is just my thought, but I think, what if you read the Bible, it says, if you eat of this fruit, you should surely die. And I think that basically our cells were built to forever regenerate or whatever. And I think we could live off of fruit, but I think when we were pulled out of the garden, I don't think we could anymore. So I think that's why we
yeah,
had to start eating animal proteins, because it was the thing that we needed to replenish in our body, that our body would no longer regenerate or do for ourselves out of fruit and vegetable. I think is what
yeah, because
happened.
after the flood, God let us start eating the animals,
Hmm.
and even in the wilderness during Moses' thing, God sent manna from heaven. That was probably just a special holy thing that God made, that was protein and fats, was like perfect everything,
Yep,
and
for sure.
but with having my body be abused with insulin resistance over all those decades, and then with
Yep,
having diabetes for 25 years, my body uh, just
exactly,
I
Mike.
don't know if I'd ever be able to enjoy, like chili that has beans in it. It's like, you know, but thankfully there's carnivores that are having these recipes of uh, chili that's only meat. So it's
Right.
like,
Just put a
that's
couple different
exciting,
cuts of meat in there. Yeah, it's good. So it's what I do.
Yeah.
I don't use beans anymore.
And,
Nope.
but anyhow, but it's like, it's like, I even tried to email someone once to say, well, could you explain, it's like, I don't want to get in arguments with people, but hey, Gladys is there. I see her She just sent a little note up there. She's here. She's
She's
up
here.
in Ontario, Canada. She's a nice gal. In fact, Todd, she makes her own sausage too. You could ask her, to let you
Yeah.
know how she makes it. And so anyhow, I'm going to step off so other people can get on the screen, okay?
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you
I
so
love
much.
you guys so much. I love you guys so much. And thanks for putting up with how horrible I look. Like
No,
I
we
said,
sure.
it's
That's why
cold here, so I've been just snuggled in, in
Oh.
my blankets. So
It has been cold here. Yeah, supposed to get ice tonight, Pearl.
yeah, we probably have something out there right now. We're supposed to have something. My grandbaby's appointment got canceled because of ice that's due in tonight.
Yep.
So I'm going to go back to just the typing section, and I'm going to watch you guys, and I'm going to get off the screen so someone else
All
can get
right.
on.
Take care,
No
Pearl.
worries.
Thanks for
Thanks,
joining
Pearl.
us.
Love you bunches.
Love you too.
bunches.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
sweet Pearl.
All right.
See ya. All
Let's see,
right.
how do I?
We put the link is in the chat, guys. If you want to hop on, Mike, if you're feel like chatting or whoever, hop on in here. Yeah, we're just hanging out. Our show's a little bit kerfuddled because we didn't have anything prepared because we had Maya was gonna be on, and then she got sick at the last minute. She got the flu, and so she was not camera ready. So we're winging it today.
Yeah, mine
We
should be
wing it
here
every week.
next week.
Yeah, so she'll be here next week.
Arlene, feel free to jump in. You can leave the camera turned off, so it's just audio. You don't have to show your face, but
Right.
it would be lovely to hear your voice and say hi.
Yeah, no
Tell us how
worries.
you're going. But,
Yeah, tell us how things are going. What's on your mind? You can leave the camera off. We will, and we
yes,
will.
no pressure.
Yeah, and I get it. After all those nasty photos that Michael photoshops of me, who would want to show Michael a picture? That guy, he'll put you in tights and put you on the internet.
Todd, you're the only one I do it to.
I know. I'm just trying to pretend like you're not only mean to me.
I am only mean to you. I think it's my new mission in life.
All right, we will go to war, sir.
And Mike, you feel free to jump on too.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah, come here.
Yeah, whoever wants to swing in, say hi. We appreciate it. We are in full wing it mode.
It's the best way to do it.
I'm gonna
Best
get
way
a
to
shirt
do
that
it.
says,
Let's wing
duck it, just wing it.
That's right.
I'm also gonna get a shirt that says, "Dear autocorrect, it's never duck it."
Yeah, and you've got a hat, Cranky Carnivore, so definitely love to see you in your hat.
There you go.
Yeah, jump on and say hi. So do you live on a farm? It looks like is it like a desert behind you or something?
Let's see here. All right, I think I made it through the comments.
We caught up?
I think we caught up. All right. So yeah, what's that?
It's a desert palm tree behind him. So where would that be in the US?
Arizona,
Texas
maybe?
desert? Arizona?
I'd say Arizona.
New Mexico?
Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico.
Utah?
I don't think Salt Lake Desert, but St. George could be. I'm going Nevada or Arizona. That feels like
let's just make it easy. West Coast.
Tucson, Arizona. He's
Tucson.
from
Tucson. I said Arizona.
I said Arizona. You were like New Mexico.
I will check the replay, Todd.
We will. I said Arizona. You said New Mexico. I was like, I know that it's skyline anywhere.
I mentioned a bunch of different states.
Oh,
Yeah, he doesn't handle StreamYard. That's a shame.
I gotcha. Correct. Tucson. There we go.
We both said Arizona.
I think I said it first, so.
Hi, Sarah. I would never have joined SBG without hearing from you all.
Can
Sounds
somebody
good.
rewind and check who said it first?
Now you're just being petty.
I'm going to hear about this all week now.
We are. We're gonna go check the tape when we get off here. That's funny. But
So how are you liking it, Sarah? That's the question.
yeah,
Have you
exactly.
joined in on any of the Zoom meetings? Have you seen an NSV yet?
How was the NSB meeting last week? I actually missed it. Was that
I missed
pretty
it
good?
too. I couldn't
Did you
believe
miss it?
that, but I was on. Yeah, I did.
I know I had to work overtime because you guys both slacking.
Yeah,
I
you
was
had to.
setting up a wedding with my daughter, so I was busy.
I was on the phone with a lawyer, so that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I missed Dr. Chafee as well. I think, is Dr. Kiltz on this week or was it Dr.
Dr.
Bright?
Kiltz was last week. He was
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Oh,
Wednesday
okay.
was
So
Dr. Kiltz.
Dr. Bright is next this week, I
Yep.
think. Yeah. She'll be interesting to listen to. She likes high fat, and that's my thing at the moment.
Missy noticed we were gone. That's good.
Oh,
Somebody's watching out for us. No, I was real bummed that I missed that. I like.
yeah.
Don't tell him I said this, but I would have rather missed the Dr. Chafee interview and made the NSV than the other way around.
Yeah.
The NSV meetings are my favourite. I think the one beforehand, I think I was in tears with some of the stories. They were just so brilliant.
They are.
All the healing and amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely worth just signing up for the NSV meetings. Like you learn something in every meeting, but those meetings are phenomenal. They just keep you motivated and inspired. You just know you're on the right track when you hear these stories.
Don't we all?
What's limbus bread? Sorry.
I think it has something to do with Lord of the Rings. I know that they're always eating those bread that
Yeah,
they were
little
carrying
bread
with them.
biscuits, right?
Yeah, and they were I love that show when they're like he's like, you just ate. He's like, what about second breakfast? What about 11sies? That's one of my favorite. Oh, it was another emotional one. I'll definitely watch it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I need to sit and rewatch it. I might do that this afternoon.
There we go.
Oh, Lindy, how do you go with the timeline with the meeting? Is that the SBG meetings? They're pretty good. I think the earliest one would be about 6 a.m. and I'm not normally up at that time. Sometimes, I shouldn't say this, but sometimes I just pop a jumper on and do my hair and sit here in half my PJs, but nobody can tell from this way up. So, yeah, that's pretty good. I enjoy it. So meeting-wise, being in Australia, you can still get to them. And then they also have the replays to watch if you do miss the meetings.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
What are you up
Mike.
to?
How are you?
Hey, Mike, how you
How
doing?
you guys doing? All right.
We are.
Super busy.
I hear that. Are you working right now?
So I'm taking a break. I'm watching the football game and I have you guys on. And yeah, I just got through uploading a show that we recorded a couple days ago. Before that, I edited and uploaded our pastor's sermon. And
nice.
before that, blah, blah, blah. I've got to we have a conference coming in this week at our church that we're putting on. And I'm speaking on Saturday.
Oh,
and
awesome.
I have to get my slides together and get my presentation nailed down. So that's going to be the rest of my day. But I got to get my football and I got to get, you guys are on Sundays, I got gotta show up at least for one of the 4 hours.
We had it all planned out, and then we had a little monkey wrench with Maya getting sick. But so now we're just
Oh,
we're
that's
just winging
terrible.
it, just chatting, chit chatting.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, there's always stuff to talk about. So, and besides that, just it's fun hanging out.
It is
So, and we do that
Yeah.
well. I mean, all of our good friends are here.
exactly.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. This is the cool kids club. I'm convinced of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go out and talk to all the lame people later. But this is where
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we don't need to do
Everyone
that.
here is family. Get the same people every week, so it's like one big happy family. They're all very supportive of
true.
each other. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. We need each other, right? Because, I mean, especially at first, because there's new people coming into the community and they're just trying carnivore or ketovore for the first time. And it's like, why in the world, do I have so much diarrhea? Or, why do I feel bad? How do I get past this? And, we need to support each other through that. And then for a lot of people, the cravings for the carbs don't go away for, maybe a month or 2 or 3 or more.
It takes time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it takes time. And so we get to encourage each other, I say.
absolutely, it's very
Mm.
necessary, and I find a lot of times too. I mean, I did it for 2.5 years on keto. You think that the obvious smart way to get off carbs is to wean yourself off slowly, and it's like, oh no.
Oh, cold turkey, baby.
Yeah.
Do it.
Everyone's
Yeah.
different, I guess. And I hear that advice, but not for me. It was cold turkey. That's how I quit smoking.
Yeah.
But yeah, even though
Yeah.
I do still vape. So maybe that doesn't count.
I don't know. I
They're
quit
all-
smoking when I was chewing, but I did quit chewing after 26 years, and because of carnivore, and
Yeah.
it's gone now.
Yeah.
So it works for sure.
And we're all here for different reasons. Some are here to lose weight, others here for autoimmune issues and just to feel a bit better. They need a change. Whatever the story, everyone's special. We've all got our own journeys. But we're all here for optimal health, aren't we?
So that's the truth. For me, I still haven't lost a lot of weight. I don't know what I'm on day 150, something like that, 160 maybe, somewhere in there. And I've probably only lost 10 pounds, maybe. So
Right.
I probably have 50 pounds I could lose still. But October is the last time I had my labs, and my metabolic health is good. And I have skin tags and stuff, which tells me I was pre-diabetic, but my
Yeah.
A1C is 4.7 now. So
That's
amazing.
awesome, Mike.
It's
And
so
yeah,
awesome.
Those skin tags will fall off, believe me.
Yeah.
I lost a bunch of mine.
I had
I'm ready.
what did I have, 38 or 39 of them, and I'm down to about 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I had tons of those things.
I
Hey,
haven't
Deb.
counted mine.
I did, because I like at
Deb.
the beginning of this, that was one of the things I heard came from insulin resistance, and I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm counting these things because I could lose half of them and not know I lost any because I got so many.
Right.
I counted them.
Maybe I can give them names or something.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. Well, we lost Becky today.
Exactly.
There you go.
Thank God. Yeah. I love getting rid of those things. Oh man. How are you doing, Deb?
You got
Oh.
your mic muted. Hit unmute on the mic.
Can we
Okay.
unmute her?
There you go.
Yay.
I'm hearing 2 sounds on my side, though. I'm trying to figure that out.
Mute YouTube.
you have YouTube going. I've done that too many times. It's funny when I keep doing it. It's like I didn't learn the last time.
And then you're still like, what is this? And it's like, I know
What is going on?
Yeah.
This keeps happening to me. You got it, Deb?
Did that work?
No.
No, not yet. Okay.
So you
Not
have-
yet. Not yet.
Pause.
Not yet.
Pause
Not yet.
YouTube.
Not yet.
yeah, pause YouTube.
Pause the
Yep.
video that's playing YouTube, and you'll watch the show from inside StreamYard now.
There we go.
Yay.
I have
Now
two
we're talking.
screens I'm working with, and I couldn't find it.
I hear you.
Okay.
Oh man. But yeah, it's very, very true. Yeah, the composition changes like that, like you're saying on that you probably have 50 pounds to lose. I'm starting to think that
Yeah.
some of the last stuff, the more I'm understanding about this, like I just had this week, I had my first oxalate dumping rash I'd ever had. I've heard people talk about these, and I was
Yeah.
like, whatever, you bunch of weirdos. I've never had one of those, you know.
That's right.
And then I got
It
one.
sounds like a made up thing, you know.
Does until you
To
get
me,
one.
it sounds like a made up thing until you get one, right?
Yeah. And then and then I got one, I realized, okay, there's more, you know, I don't know. It's one of those things you can hear about it, but once you finally, it happens to you, you start realizing this is very real, that our stored body fat has toxins in it. And our body is not wanting to get rid of that not because it's, you know, it's kind of killed our metabolic pathways to burning that stored fat. You know, everybody's had real stubborn fat. My brother, he works like a maniac, and he's he's got some serious autoimmune stuff, but he's really lean everywhere, but he's got this fat on his stomach that he cannot get rid of. He can do 10,000 sit-ups. He can work out 3 hours a night like a heart attack. The guy can undereat, and he can starve himself and get down to where he just looks like a bag of bones, but he's got this pile of fat that won't go away on his stomach. And I'm now convinced that that's because your body's like, no, that's where we put all the nuclear waste that you put in your body. We are there, and you're so sick, we're not going to deal with it just yet, So
And
we're
if
going
we let it go, you might die.
yeah, if we unzip that
Too much too
seal,
fast, right?
yeah, you're going to
Right.
die,
Yeah.
And so I
Mhm.
really
Talks
do
about-
think that's what's going on, because the more that I prime and the more composition changes I have, but now I'm starting to have like the detox stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
so that's what's actually happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where did you
Well, I
get your
wonder-
rash when you had the oxalate dumping? Because
Me?
I had
So
Yeah.
from around my belly button, at the bottom of my belly, and then on the top of my thighs, on the sides of my legs, that was like hivey and itchy. It was driving me nuts.
Exactly what I had.
yeah. I had
That's
a
oxalate
really
dumping?
bad rash. Oh, I don't know. It might be.
Yep.
I'm just thinking, when I had about 6 months ago, I had a really bad rash for under my armpits. Like, it was so bad I couldn't put deodorant on or anything.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Right.
Those
But it
I've
was
had that before.
skin.
I've had
Yeah,
that
I
before too.
never
it was a long
had
time
that
ago, but-
before. I
A long
thought
time
I
ago,
was
but it
allergic to my
stunk.
deodorant.
It hurt.
Oh, bad. Yeah.
It was like really
Yeah.
tender.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can
Yeah, I
also
never
be
thought of
a
it.
yeast infection. I have a autoimmune disease that deals with skin, and sometimes a rash under your armpit or like under your breast or any place where you
Right.
sweat a lot, it can actually be yeast.
Yeah.
And there's a powder that you can get from your doctor,
Mm.
prescribed from your doctor, to clear it up. But
That's cool.
that's also something I suppose diet affects as well. So
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's like, well, what I did was I stayed carnivore and I quit stinking.
Right.
It's
Right.
true. I
Mhm.
mean, I just don't have BO anymore.
Oh, it's
It's
strange.
I shower every third day.
Yeah. That's you
I
might
mean, don't tell my friends, but
you're
yeah.
right. No, I hear you.
True.
It is weird. You don't stink on carnivore.
No, you don't.
Like all that stuff
No.
goes away. Your feet don't, like my feet don't sweat or smell. My shoes don't smell anymore. Like I think I put on deodorant maybe once a week now because
I gave up deodorant. No deodorant.
yeah, it's
No
just like,
shampoo.
no, it's weird.
Yeah,
It
bad.
really is strange. And then you realize, oh, that the smell was a bunch of rotting toxic waste that was coming out of our pores.
Yes. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
oxalate dumping every day
Uh-huh.
into my armpit.
Exactly.
Yeah, it really was though, right?
Yep.
I mean, it was funny. I mean, it sounds gross, but me and my brother used to go, why do you think when God built this, he was like, all right, you're going to have Taco Bell, poops, making a mess back here. I was like, how did he ever expect this to work? And now that I eat carnivore and I only poop every 3 to 4 days and it's little and it doesn't stink and it's not a mess, I'm like, oh, this is how this was supposed to work. Yeah,
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah. Hey, Michael, can you put that comment back up from Renee? Because Renee and I are good friends. She lives in Louisiana and they've had a cold spell. And thanks, Mike, for putting my both of my YouTube channels up there, that weather channel.
I did. Yep.
And so Renee makes comments all the time. She blames me for the weather.
I blame you all the time, Mike. Anytime it gets cold here, it's Mike sending it this way.
Yep.
So can I blame you too? Because our summer hasn't turned up yet. It's freezing here. We're in the middle of summer. No sunshine.
Wow.
It must be your fault. Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Did we answer this question, Michael?
How good did you get on Photoshop? I like the battle with Todd. Reminds me of friends in middle school. We would hit each other, and that was how we showed our affection. Oh,
yeah. Practice. Practice. That's how you get good at anything. Just do it.
It's true. Well, pretty soon you'll have AI, and you can just tell AI what you want, and it'll spit it out. hey, yeah, you just be like, "Hey, Google, give me Todd in tights," and there it is. And you can post it on the internet.
I will be incredibly impressed if AI knows what I look like in tights, but I'm not saying it won't. I think it'll get it. It'll nail it, but I'll be like, woo, we're time to get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. You're not wrong about that. That's part of the conspiracy theory thing. So Deb, what's going on? It's like I see you in chat all the time, but I've never seen you. How are you?
That's because I didn't know how StreamYard worked. So
it's easy.
Trying it. I'm on my laptop.
That's awesome.
Working great.
Working awesome.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Deb.
About myself. I'm 58. I've been on a weight loss journey probably most of my life.
Just like all of us.
Just like all of you. At my high, I was almost 300 pounds. And it took me about 10 years to lose about 107 pounds. And then I had a hip replacement that went horribly wrong, and I ended up with a spinal cord injury. So I have neuropathy from the knees down. And that happened in 2017. So a year ago, after my 107-pound weight loss, I had finally lost enough weight that I went to see a back surgeon. And I had a spinal fusion, L4, L5. And it worked on a lot of my issues, but not all of my issues. So I used to have constant Charlie horses and leg cramps in both legs, severe nerve pain in both legs. The injury during my hip replacement, I ended up with drop foot in my right leg. So that was the worst leg. But I was also diabetic. Okay. So I have multiple autoimmune issues that are currently mostly in remission. My diabetes has been in remission for about 4 years now. So, but I still have to watch those carbs, and keto wasn't quite good enough. So, I'm definitely carnivore for this month, but I was more ketovore before. When I lost the last little bit of my weight, I'm still got weight to lose, don't get me wrong, but the last of before my back surgery, because I gained 30 pounds with the back surgery. Because I had to quit smoking cold turkey overnight after 45 years.
That'll do it. Yep.
Okay, because my surgeon would not do the surgery unless I tested negative for nicotine.
Wow.
So
what's up with that?
Because he's good, and your bones don't fuse if you have nicotine.
I had no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of surgeons will just do the surgery, but mine won't. So, but I have osteoarthritis and stuff, so my joints aren't going to repair themselves. Okay.
Right.
Carnivore helps. Carnivore definitely helps. But I still may need another hip replacement. So,
have you thought about?
I'm starting with physical therapy in like a week, because we're trying to avoid another hip replacement on the other side. I was a hairstylist back in the 80s. And in the 80s, they thought it was brilliant to make us wear heels.
Oh,
okay. While doing hair, the big hair. So your arms are up in the air, you're rolling these perms. Okay. And you're on 3-inch heels for 12 to 16 hours a day.
Wow.
Okay. So I had my first hip replacement in 2017.
Wow.
And I had a 12 millimeter bone spur that was floating around in my hip socket. So
Goodness.
And prior to that, probably 5 years prior to that, I had a shoulder surgery. They were going to go in and repair my rotator. But when he got in there, he says, all I can do is Dremel you out. It's all scar tissue. There's nothing to repair. And I said, okay, so what's in my future? And he said, a double shoulder replacement. And I said, no, thank you.
Wow.
That what I'm
crazy.
not. I'm not even going to.
Hey, Deb, this wasn't even a perm.
Yeah,
wasn't
you had
even a perm.
natural curls there.
1979.
From Iowa. You know, I was
This
born
is
and raised
Oregon.
in Iowa.
Really?
Yeah.
I got here in March. I grew up in Oregon.
Okay.
So that's in my yearbook, that picture somewhere. But yeah. So I love Iowa. I love it here so much, Deb.
Iowa. I absolutely hate Iowa.
Well, I'm glad we switched then, right?
Yeah, I'm in Texas.
Yeah.
Granted, right now I
love
hate
Texas
Texas because it's cold.
Yeah, well,
But
it's going to warm up.
we'll see.
I just did my forecast earlier today. It's warmer weather.
For Texas?
Texas and especially Florida.
And if it doesn't, just blame Mike.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Just blame Mike. I'm going to come up with a t-shirt that says, Mike said it might.
Oh.
Might. Maybe. Perhaps. It could.
Yeah.
Michael is looking pretty baby faced today. He clean shaven.
I can't believe you fasted 21 days. That's insane.
I didn't think I was gonna make it 5 days when I started.
I'm too afraid to do that. I'm a recovered binge eater. You know, and binging, purging, it was a cycle.
Yeah.
I missed the update. How was re-entry, Mike?
So far, so good. Yeah, so far, so good. I have no problems. Yeah.
Because you did what, 4 days of amino acids only first?
Yeah, I started Tuesday night with the aminos.
I want to try those.
They seem to be working.
The budget.
I haven't taken any today.
Now you're on bone broth?
Yeah, I'm bone broth with egg in it. It's more of a, it's not like an egg drop. It's more of like a cream. I first started with the straight bone broth, and then I've made a second batch of it with just the eggs in it. Give it a little bit more protein.
How much did you end up losing?
47 pounds.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a significant life-changing amount of weight.
I feel the difference. It's taken my body time to get used to it because it's such a quick change. I got nerve pain. It's weird in my stomach and my sides. It's just like under the skin. It's like pinched nerves. It's because everything's moving around. Everything's changing, and my body's just not used to it.
I thought maybe you'd have superhuman strength, like like someone say who was born on a planet that had twice the gravity, and then was dropped off here at one of the poles.
My brother keeps saying,
sounds like it'd be a good story.
My brother keeps saying, when you lose all this weight, I want to see if you can slam dunk a basketball.
Yes. That's what I always say. It's like I had a 34-inch vertical in high school, but I'm 5'5", so
Yeah.
whatever. But I did the long jump and track and stuff, and so I say now I can get off the ground about 2 inches or something. I'm like, but you know why? It's because gravity has increased. It's in all the scientific journals. Ever since I was a kid, gravity has been going up.
I think that's correct.
Yes.
So that's why we're all heavier.
That's it.
Absolutely.
It's not your fault. It's the food pyramid and gravity.
We're definitely the food pyramid.
As long as well, oddly enough, the longest I've ever fasted was 21 days as well, but mine didn't go so hot as Michael's did. Mine was a train wreck. I was shooting for 40 days, but I was not primed before I did it. I did not take any supplements or electrolytes. I didn't even think of that. And then to make matters worse, I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll just drink 2.5 to 3 gallons of water a day to keep my stomach full so I won't be hungry. And then what I did was I lost all my potassium through
All your electrolytes, you just whizzed them out.
I did. And then on day 21, I was just feeling way wrong. And I started having an asthma attack out of nowhere. I was like, what is going on? I noticed like the last 2 days I couldn't breathe well. And yeah, I lost so much potassium that my blood plasma got screwed up and it wouldn't hold red blood platelets. So I actually lowered my blood cell count by doing that. And so I couldn't breathe because I didn't have enough red blood platelets to carry enough oxygen. I started having an asthma attack. So don't do what I did. That was stupid.
That Todd's always been a whiz kid, though,
Yeah, I definitely peed a lot during that. I was, and it was feeling great. I was moving a bunch of fluid, and I thought, oh, I got this. Because my plan was to do 40, and I was like, if the first 40 days go seamless, I'm going to do another 40 days and just keep it going. And then, yeah, I had to tap out at 21 days.
So not only are you a whiz kid, but you're also European?
I'm a European.
Wow.
Horns on your hat.
I'm actually Norwegian.
Well, okay. He's a Viking.
I am a Viking.
Yeah.
My husband's
our
How they doing?
So.
What's the score on the Vikings game today? Oh, yeah. Never mind.
It is funny they changed our name when they came to the United States because my ancestors were like plunderers. They're like, we did not have a good name in Norway. So they changed the spelling of our name to BOCK instead of BACH, And yeah, it was pretty fun.
That dude killed my grandma and he owes me money.
Exactly. So I was asking my dad, I was like, why did they change your name? Because he was telling me, he's like, because we come from a long line of like plunderers and murderers and thieves.
Okay. Alrighty.
Interesting.
Leave it behind us in Norway.
Yeah, new start.
So you weren't cross-country skiers, is what you're telling me.
No, we were definitely on the boats. We were part of the plundering crew.
Let's go to England, guys.
Yeah, apparently they knew we had to get the heck out of Dodge. What do we got here?
Do skin tags sometimes take a year or more to leave?
Nope.
I've had some that went away in weeks, and I still have some after a year and almost 13 months total now. So
I have one on my knee that won't budge.
Oh, on your knee?
On my knee of all things. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I have one like, I don't know, a little bit under my armpit, not in my armpit, but a little bit under it. It's the original. It's the first one.
Right.
And it's the biggest one. And I'd like to say goodbye to that one first.
All right, I got to see if I can find this one. I have the grossest one on my neck. This thing looks like a mealworm. This one right here. This thing's like an inch long, and it's so floppy. I like this one. You can't see it. but it's so long. It's like that long.
You're giving me ideas for Photoshop.
Well,
I don't
in
know.
my head,
I think some of
Go ahead,
them
Deb.
don't ever go away because I've had a teeny tiny one on my neck, and I've been keto for almost 10 years.
Oh
Keto
wow.
or
Yeah.
carnivore. So, I think maybe it depends on your age and
I think
all of
it's
that stuff too.
I think it's more the more you go carnivore, and is I did some keto before and I didn't lose no skin tags. Now that
Yeah.
I've been straight carnivore for 6 months now,
Okay.
that's when I lost all mine. I lost them under my arm. I still have like 1 or 2 left, but most of them are gone. And maybe it was as fast too. I don't know.
I had several at one time, and I only have one left, but they were so tiny you couldn't even see them.
Right.
So I just ignored them.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, sort of. I did fast for months, but not consecutively. So for 17 months, what I did was I only ate twice a week, and I would only eat 1,000 calories or less when I would eat. So and that was I lost 307 pounds doing that. But I lived on 2,000 calories a week, but I'd have to eat every 3 to 4 days because I was blacking out and I was getting bloody noses. I was blacking out. I was passing out. And so, but I did that for 17 months. So that's what I think you're referring to was that. So technically, those were just a seriously long concession of like 84-hour fast and 96-hour fast is what I was doing.
Wow.
But
Alternate week fasting.
Yeah, basically I would eat. I
much.
just would eat. I found out I was just trying not to eat ever, but I found out that I was after a while I was too weak and I was passing out. So when I finally, I'd hold it as long as I could until I just had to eat, and then I was like, I'm only going to eat 1,000 calories or less, and so I would usually eat a sandwich or whatever, and I'd eat one of those, and that would give me just enough that I could go like another 3 to 4 days, and that's what I did for 17 months. And it was not good because just everything started breaking. I tore my rotator cuff. I kept getting tunnel vision. I ended up having knee surgery. I end up tearing the cartilage off of, I don't even know. It's the bone, whatever the top of your shin bone is. I tore a piece of cartilage off of there some damn how, and it's got stuck in my knee. And they had to go in and take it out. And that was when they told me I was going to need 2 new knee replacements by the time I was 50 because of my weight back then. And I end up dislocating an ankle back then. Just everything was falling apart. And the thing was, I'd always been big, but I was at least strong. Like I could always lift really heavy things. And that for the first time in my life now, everything was heavy. I couldn't lift things. Everything was heavy, and I was breaking stuff when I was lifting things that I used to always lift before. So it just ate all my muscle. It deteriorated ligaments and white tissue. It just was not good. And then I got married, and my wife's like, "Oh, well, we'll just eat healthy." And she made brown rice and whole wheat pasta and all this stuff. And I mean, you've never seen, I gained back that 300 pounds in like 14, 15 months. It was crazy. And it came on so fast. I was so sick when it came back on. Gosh, I was in worse shape. It was terrible.
Well, didn't you set yourself up for really bad failure because you wrecked your metabolic health and your metabolism, right?
Mhm.
So you had ramped yourself down so low.
Yeah.
That when you're
And talk
when you're
about
new
just,
life, she meant well. She did. She meant well.
yeah. Oh, she did. She was just, she's like, because she's like, well, why don't you just eat? And I'm like, I can't eat. I'll gain weight back. She's like, oh, no, we'll eat healthy. We'll do this healthy. And she made chicken and steamed, like we're going to have low fat chicken Alfredo with whole wheat pasta,
Yep.
junk just flew back on like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
So
that's what people think is healthy. So yeah.
Absolutely.
She didn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
No, we didn't know. I had no clue,
We didn't know. No.
Nope. And so, yeah, but that was the fasting that I did. But consecutively, my longest fast was that 21 days. That was the longest I ever made it. And also the most miserable I'd ever made it. I hope that answered. Let's see. Oh, here's one.
Hi,
Keith's
Renee.
wanting. Yeah.
I'd mess around and chat with you guys, but if I post something in chat, because I'm not streaming to my channel, it would post on everybody's.
Yeah, you can post it on there. We don't care.
It's fine.
Want me to try it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll come out
Yeah,
this year.
Watch this. Let me see if it works. Yep.
There you go.
There it goes. Okay.
That's okay. They know where it's coming from.
It's under the source.
Let's see. Keith wants to know how your carnivore journey's going, Mike.
So it's mixed, right? Because I really do want to lose weight, but I've learned from lives like these and from friends that I've made, this is not a weight loss diet. And that's what the doctors all say. This is not a weight loss diet. This is a metabolic health diet. So as far as metabolic health goes, I think my journey's going really well. I don't know when the next time I'll do labs will be, but I feel really good. And my labs did come back good in October. One thing though, my HDL, it wasn't low, but it wasn't high. So my ratio is like 2.5, my trigs and my HDL. So I need to bring my HDL up. Was the only, like, the needs improvement on your report card. Bring your HDL up. Now I have been dealing with, and this is right about when I started going carnivore. Actually, years ago, I had a test that my PSA was slightly elevated, and the urologist told me, "Well, we'll just keep an eye on it." And of course, I never saw him again. So, fast forward to October, and my PSA was really high, and so I have an enlarged prostate, and so I'm in Dr. Barry's group, and Teresa O's my coach, and what she suggested was as low carb as you can go. Add in some fish and some sardines and some omega-3s and, see if that helps. And I haven't had the test, but this is kind of personal, but whatever. So, but the urgent need to pee once an hour has gotten much better.
That's good.
Right.
Which is great because I drive kids to Omaha every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I could get through the morning and get them dropped off and then head straight to a gas station after I drop them off. I don't have to do that anymore. So it's improving, but I don't know by how much according to the numbers. And I'm not sure when I'll find that out. But at first people were kind of worried, oh, it might be cancer or, blah, blah, blah. You have to get it checked out. And they're probably going to do a biopsy and stuff. And then, Michael and Todd sent me this book that I still haven't read, but just the fact that you sent it to me, I've been sleeping with it under my pillow and I've gotten the knowledge that way. I can't remember the name of it. Something like, you don't have prostate cancer.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Well, so my brother, the reason why I knew about that book was because my brother had enlarged prostate, high PSA numbers, right? And because this was when I was doing keto, but before carnivore, and I found out I had extremely low testosterone, and so I was like, John, you might have low testosterone. I started taking TRT at the time, and we at that time we both started seeing a guy named Michael Lang, and Michael Lang is our doctor here. He's a medical doctor, and he studied under Dr. Jason Fung.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so that was neat. And so he's all about hormones and insulin resistance, and he's a pro ketovore, carnivore, keto guy. But when we were talking to him, he was the one said, "Well, I can't give you." Like, he couldn't give my brother TRT because you can't take TRT if you have high PS or whatever the PSA numbers.
Right. Yeah.
And so John couldn't take him, but he's like, but before you get worried, you got to read this book because there's so many men that are getting their prostate cut out because of these problems. And he's like, most would have been completely fine if they never, like 90% of the people that get prostate cancer would probably be completely fine if they never had it cut out because the problems happen after you have it cut out. They get much, much worse, And so he had him read that book, and I forget what it's called too. We found it because I called my brother. He was in Hawaii, and I'm like, "What was the name of that book?" You know,
There's
The
the name
Great
of it right there.
Prostate Hoax: How Big Medicine Hijacked the PSA Test and Caused a Public Health Disaster by.
Yep. Yeah, which to me is like, of course that I was like, I believe that because this stuff is
I
happening
believe it
all the
too.
time. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like I know
It's all
lots of
about the
people
money.
that have. Yeah, it's all about the money. So, and then it's a sensitive area.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Leave me
And
alone.
they can scare you, but that's what I'm noticing.
Yeah.
This really is a fear tactic, right? Like my doctor's like, Todd, you're dying. We got to put you on all this medication to give you a chance at living. Whatever you do, even when I lose 200 pounds, we gotta talk about your diet. I'm worried about your diet. All this fear mongering. It's you got to get to the point where you don't care if you live or die. You're just not living like this anymore, and you're gonna do something for yourself. Then when you finally do it, the fear hold of listening to the professionals and the status quo crap goes away, and then you find freedom. And I did that, and Lindy did that, Michael did that, and Lindy's daughter's doing that right now, and it's amazing to see. And that was what my brother had to do on the PSA thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. So I'm taking a chance, and it sounds like it's not that big of a chance. It sounds like I'd be taking a bigger chance going the other way. I have a friend who's a nurse, and she said, well, prostate cancer is highly hereditary. So like, do you have a history of that in your family? I'm like, no, like none. We don't even have cancer in my family. My uncle had throat cancer when he was like 85, but other than that, I don't know anyone else in the family that's had cancer. So that's another thing to consider that's given me a little bit more confidence that I'm going to go this way, so I don't feel like I'm in danger or anything, and everything else is great. Mental clarity is great. I feel a little stronger, even though I'm not working out yet. We had 2 feet of snow in the last 2 weeks. It's been awesome. And it was below zero until 10 o'clock today. It's finally back above zero. And then we're heading for mid 30s this week. Boo.
40s, huh? And then next week even warmer. Yeah. So
no, don't say that. I'm loving the snow. I love it, love it, love it. I forgot what I was saying. I got lost in the snow talk. So anyway, I'm going to stay the course. And once we hit spring, I'm going to start sprinting and, do all the things. So this is a lifestyle change. I'm not planning on going back to brown rice and broccoli.
The healthy stuff that's killing us all. Yeah.
Right.
For sure. Well, Matt kicked off. They want to know the other Michael. How did you get started?
How did I get started? Well, I came across Dr. Baker up on Twitter and saw his post up there with all that he was doing. And I start following him, and I start seeing more people start talking about this. And I start looking into it more. And I came across Lindy and Todd, and I saw what they did in such a short time. And here I am. Now I'm 6 months in. 188 days in, and I'm down 167 pounds in less than in 6 months.
That's amazing.
Isn't it? It's so awesome.
That's fantastic.
And if you lost 30 pounds on a doctor recommended diet, they would tell you you're doing fantastic.
Oh, you're doing awesome. Yeah, keep
killing
doing
it. You're killing it. But you do this on Carnivore, and they're like, well, we're worried about your diet. Your health is on the line here. It's all,
I was thinking about your story about the doctor. It's like, well, we're worried about your diet. Oh, by the way, it's Friday. Did you get that free slice of pizza we have for you in the lobby?
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget your cookies and juice box on the way out.
Your lollipop for coming in and seeing us today.
Yeah. Make sure we give you a dose of poison with your medical help on your way out the door so you can come back next week.
They don't know better either, though. So I kind of give them a pass a little bit. And the people that know me and are worried about me because they don't understand this diet, or they think they do and they think it's bad, I give them a pass because they love me, they care about me. So it's coming from a good place. But my friends are good friends in the fact that they're like, so, I am concerned about you, but I know it's not going to change your mind.
Right.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. So appreciate it. Pray for me. That's all you can do. Pray that it works out, Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's just so ridiculous. And I mean, I give the doctors, I understand that they fell into the same system that we fell into and why we were eating in the first place. Right. I get that.
Yep.
But what I don't get is when you show them results and you're standing right in front of them and you're like, hey, I am off oxygen. I have lost 215 pounds. I am walking again. I am breathing again. My resting heart rate is down from 107 beats a minute to 68 beats a minute. My oxygen saturation is up from, in the 70s up to, now at 96% oxygen saturation. I'm not wanting to eat a bullet anymore, and I am not crippled by anxiety anymore. I'm not getting a terrible case of gout every 2 to 3 weeks, like clockwork, and having that problem. I can sleep again. I can breathe. I can sleep and breathe at the same time. All these things. I can bring it to them, and they're like, whew. They don't go, this is amazing. What are you doing? Because if I did 1/100th of these things on their recommended plan, they would say it's a outstanding success. Yeah. And I bring them all of this, and they go, "Did you say you're just eating meat?" Oh, we're worried. We're worried for you. And it's like, shouldn't you be wanting to do a study and go, if you were really concerned about the truth, you would want to do a study and say, what the heck? Hey, there's Mama Cracker.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Mama Cracker.
So
hey,
that's
Todd, Lindy, Michael, Mike Shaw. Oh my gosh, I can't read that lady. What is her name? I can't read it.
I'm Deb.
It's Deb.
Deb. I had to put 2 pairs of glasses on to get it.
How are you doing, Mama?
I'm pretty good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic.
I've just put my phone down and put my ear pod in and just walked all over the house while listening to you guys. I just keep giggling and people will look at me and like, what? You guys are too funny. I'm laughing at, just leave me alone. I'm laughing at people in my head.
I don't know about you, but Michael's always in my head after he photoshops me. He gets rent free up there.
I was gonna say the men in the white coats are coming to get you, Mama. After that,
I'm coming to take me away. Ha ha. Oh.
Oh. Hee.
Dr. Demento. To the funny farm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Not a lot of Dr. Demento people out there.
Yeah, there's not a lot, but I'm one of them. I know a lot of them though. So.
Yeah, you still listen to them. Yeah.
So what's your story, Mama Cracker?
I'm sorry, Lindy, what?
Yeah, what's your story? I don't think I've heard. How long have you been carnivore? And
my story is, well, I've eaten meat my whole life, but not as a carnivore. I've just, there's always been meat on the table. I've always liked burger, steak, blah, blah, blah. I've liked it all, but I've also eaten the Cheerios, the pop, the chips, and all that good stuff. And that really didn't bother me, I don't think, until like I hurt myself. I fell down some basement steps in '98, and then my body starting to creak and all that crap, and that's in my 40s, and then I blew my body out in 2004, and I'm like, oh, and at the moment I was depressed because of my weakening, I was diagnosed with like a transitional depression because I wasn't moving as fast as I used to like.
Right.
And so depressed. And then I think that was because I just drank pop and I drank pop cola, soda, whatever
Mm.
your language says it is. Cola,
Coke.
cola,
Everything's
cola.
Coke.
No water, no water, no water. Coke, no water, no water.
What kind of
So
Coke would you like?
Exactly.
it was Pepsi and
Yeah.
Pepsi and Coca-Cola. No Coke, Pepsi. That's Saturday Night Live reference.
Yep.
Jim Belushi.
And so
Chiefs,
that was
Chiefs.
so I gained weight then, but it didn't, hell, I was depressed, so I really didn't care. And I had pains. I couldn't sit in anything but hard chairs because anything too fluffy I couldn't get in or out of. But either way, I just kept working. I wrote a science fiction novel while I was depressed.
Whoa.
Who cares? I was still depressed. And then
Still cool.
and then when I blew my body out, I'm like, oh, now I can't work. I still had 2 teenage kids. I'm like, now I can't work. And at that time, my mom had like 2 little TIAs, little mini strokes, and so my dad just said, why don't you come back and watch over your mom for me? And I says, well, all right, I can do that. And then I quit the pop and I quit the bread and stuff. And I started eating salads with so much. Todd, you love the vinegar. My vinegar was vinegar and like a dribble of oil. That was it, and salt.
Yep.
And then at the end, I could drink it.
Yep.
So I did all that.
That's what I did on keto. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
Mm.
And then I guess my depression got better, but I still couldn't walk and all that. And I've gone to make sure it wasn't my hip. I actually said, this is my back or my hip. Something's going wrong. And they always checked my hip. They really wanted me to have a bad hip so they could replace my hip or something, but nothing was broken. So I'm kind of twisted. So I don't walk as much as I used to. And so I have extra weight. I don't care about that though, because I'm like resigned to what my pains were. I could get up and creak and get up like this, but I was all resigned, and that's how it was. And I was using a cane, and I use a walker right at this moment because whenever I go to pick something off the floor, I put my bad side, like my bad leg, out behind me, and then squat with my right leg and pick things up. Well, I had my bad leg behind me, and someone came around and like took me out, and that hurt a little bit. So
No kidding.
I'm gonna walk her right now. But since and I'll tell you how I started Carnivore. But since I started Carnivore, my pain within 3 days was like gone, except for it's a mechanical. I have a twist or something in my back where it's not going to work right. And I've done chiropractors, I've done everybody else, but now I'm walking with my walker with one hand, So I'll go back to my cane when I get a foot for it, one of those 4 quad foots or whatever. I'll do that.
Yep.
So anyway, I was a fan of Joe Rogan. I love Joe Rogan. I watch him talk to Elon and Jordan, and I've seen him do Sean Baker, but muscle men weren't my thing, so I just didn't watch them. I didn't even pay attention at that point.
The first one wasn't great. I think the repeat was better. The first time Sean was on, I don't think it was great.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was better the next time.
I didn't even give him a second chance. I just saw muscles. That means they're going to talk weights and they're going to talk wrestling or something. So I skipped it. And then I saw him do Jordan Peterson, and Jordan Peterson said about his diet and how it helped him. And he talked about his daughter. And I'm like, wow, that is really great. Well, I didn't relate to all those ailments because they've had them for their whole lives, And then Joe Rogan, I saw him again, and maybe he was talking to Sean the next time, and he said the brain clarity is what I wanted. Because right now I'm living with my daughter and my son-in-law, and everybody's busy. Everybody goes to work. My friends live an hour away and all that stuff. And what do? I talk to the dogs all day long, and so my vocabulary is go potty, go pee, sit, hey, come over here. That's my vocabulary. So I wanted the mental clarity, and so I decided, I said, well, all right, I'll start tomorrow. All right, now I got to let you know, my daughter and my son-in-law are like the best cooks in the world. I've never eaten food anywhere near their capacity. I never liked chicken pot pie, but when they make it, I could eat a whole bucket of it. It was so good. And so I'm outside, and my son is going to work for the morning, and I says, hey, I told him, I said, my son-in-law, I said, I'm starting the carnivore diet today. And he looked at me, he goes, well, I'm making risotto tonight. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
That's bad timing.
Yeah, but it's chicken risotto. So I, in the evening,
No.
I still had a couple pieces of the chicken. So I had the taste, So anyway, within 3 days, I was getting up. I was getting up off the chairs. I don't even know about my mental clarity or anything because I still talk to the dogs. I hope I'm talking to you guys fine. I don't know.
Oh, you are.
Makes sense. Yeah. 100%.
But what?
100%.
Okay, great.
I talk to my dog all the time too, so I hope that's
yeah,
not a sign.
sure.
You got to talk to dogs. Come on.
Yeah, well, yeah, and they understand me, and I understand them sort of. And I'm trying to think what else, and I'm like, okay, well, I didn't realize it was the food of the, the food for the pain. I just because I've eaten, pop chips, all that other stuff, but every night it was meat. So I don't even know. I don't know I don't know. That's not the standard American. I guess it is, except for more meat than the standard American diet. And then did that, and my pain went, and I know I use 2 glasses just to see, but it's so small on my phone. But my eyesight is getting better. I think I need something a little lower. I just have reading glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I hear just a little bit better. And anything else? There was something else too. My hair is getting darker, and it was pure silver, and it's getting darker.
That's crazy.
Like, okay. I'm like, and
Mine just looks darker.
huh? Yours what?
It just looks darker on this camera. I don't know why. It's not really this dark.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, maybe that's all.
It's a
Maybe
lie.
it is. Maybe it's just it might be
It's
a lie.
That's just a lie. Not you, me.
Well, I don't know.
No,
I
it's
mean,
definitely me and Adam both definitely noticed our hair. Both Adam at Carnivore today and me have talked about it several times. My hair is definitely darker for sure.
Your mum called
Well,
you
and your
Cousin
eyes are
Pete
getting
the other
better
day.
too.
Way better. So that's
And
that's a good thing.
yeah. Well, and I guess that's my story for so far. I haven't been a pure carnivore since that was like September. Oh, and I lost almost 30 pounds.
Nice.
But it was
Awesome.
like 13 the first 2 weeks. 13, I'm like, oh, look at that. That was kind of cool. I lost 3 over Christmas, and even though I did really cheat with my aunt's banana chocolate cake pudding concoction, I ate that. Lost 3 pounds anyway. So that's
Crazy.
it. But that wasn't my why, because I knew I was overweight because I wasn't moving as much. Oh, and since then I got a rebounder so that at least I can at least get some lymph nodes moving. And I had this old mid-century little twisty thing. You put it on the floor and you stand on it and then you twist.
Yeah.
That's really nice. I got that at an auction millions of years ago. I said, I'm keeping that, and voila, it helps.
Was that one of those as seen on TV things?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's ever on TV though, because it's old.
Oh, okay. All right.
So how do you find the rebounder? Because I'm actually thinking of getting one. I've put it in
Well-
my cart about times and haven't clicked it yet. So how do you
Well,
find
it's
it?
fun. It's fun. Now my one leg, I mean, it actually moves for me a lot better than it used to, but it's a little shorter because I'm twisted somehow. Stupid chiropractors, but still, I'm twisted
Yeah.
somehow. And so I can't like jump like a trampoline, but I do have a a bar to hold on to. So I
Mhm.
do get my feet up. Sometimes I put my one foot on top of my other foot so I can just really go and yoo-hoo, aha, woohoo. I put on rock music. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
Exercise,
I do
right?
I do like
Right.
5 minutes, and then really my arms get tired. Not my legs.
Yeah.
My arms get tired from holding.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the dogs try to jump on me on that. And I'm like, no, don't, you'll knock me over.
Yeah.
My
And they
dog's too
understand.
old for that.
But it's
My dog
fun.
would just
It's fun.
okay. Yeah, I'm very tempted to get one. So
Do it.
And it's,
Make
and
a
it's
video.
so compact. It's so compact. I mean, the one I have, you can fold it up. I mean, you have to, take the cover off and fold it back up and hide it if you have to.
mm,
I wanted to get an elliptical, but I didn't want to put it in. I have no room in my bedroom, and there's no room in the, I don't want to put it in a place where people are going to be coming around. And our basement is only like 6 feet tall. And I'm like, well, I can't do that because,
Yeah.
taking a step, boom, take a step, boom.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
But
I
if you
just
get hit by a
got the
tornado,
rebounder.
you're going to live. So there's that.
Right. Got the base. Yeah, I got that room.
So that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it is. And that's my story so far, I guess.
oh, excellent.
I keep
like that
remembering
story.
things,
Yes.
like
You're a
I did
troublemaker.
put a video up on my Y, and I just talked to the snow. Mike Shaw, I mentioned you at the very end because it was
Oh my gosh.
23 degrees. So I wanted to say, take that, Mike Shaw.
I love it. I'm going to have
Do you
to
have
check that out.
Do you have a YouTube channel, Mama Cracker?
Yeah, it's Mama Cracker.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know. I'll have to look it up and
I just do shorts and I sing, with my breakfast with old songs like hot diggity, dog diggity, boom, what you do to me, that kind of thing. Yeah. And
All right.
my next one's going to be hamburger, but it's going to be, what is the name of that song? Sugar, da 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 da,
Honey.
Right, but it's
Yeah.
going to
You are
be
my candy girl.
hamburger, do 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 do, oh butter do 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 do, and then I'll figure it out.
Right.
I'll put bacon and eggs in there and make it a BBBE. But I have to cook it first so I can actually have that picture.
Right.
Great. I just posted the
sounds
link
good.
for you. I've subscribed to you now. Oh, good.
Oh,
Thank
thanks
you.
so much. My
Oh, you did
all
post
right.
it good.
my videos or whatever I do, I always put carnivore something and then bad singing, just to warn people.
Or
Nothing wrong
parody.
with that. They think
Okay,
we're
I'm
crazy
subbed up.
anyway because we just eat meat, so we're all crazy.
Oh, there it
It's a
is.
bit
Your
about
carnivore
singing.
Y. With all that snow. That's beautiful.
It was beautiful. I stood there with the door open, let the dogs out, and it's like a foot deep.
Yeah, it is. Where do you live?
Northeast Ohio, about 20 minutes south
Okay.
of Cleveland.
All right. Yeah, finally. It's about time you guys had some winter.
What do you mean,
Right.
finally? Shoot.
You know what I heard is Cleveland rocks. That's what I heard.
That's what I heard. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks.
Yes.
Yeah, that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was not very impressive. It's just had a whole bunch of clothes. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
that's not fun.
that's too bad. I used to rail on them when I had my talk show in Tucson. I used to do, this was the year before they inducted Def Leppard into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm like, how in the world did Hall & Oates get in there before Def Leppard? And it used
Oh,
to really
yeah.
bug me.
Oh,
It
yeah.
used
There's
to
so
really
many.
bug me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Like
Def Leppard's
Eminem's in there
now, so
before
I'm good.
Ted Nugent and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm pretty mad about them, too.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I think
I
they
mean,
started off okay.
Yeah, Kamikaze from the 100th floor, swan dive to the street. Those lyrics alone deserve Terrible Ted in the hall. Dog, dog eat dog.
Hey, Greg, how are you?
Hi, Greg.
Greg in the house. I was taking over. You guys look at it.
I need this again.
Yeah, Michigan's getting it now. It's true.
Yeah, you guys are getting pounded. We're finally. It's funny. We're actually warming up. I think it's 35 degrees out right now.
Yeah, that's our high tomorrow, I think. Boo.
We're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave.
I will take it. I could use a tropical heat wave.
Feeling hot, hot, hot.
And only thing that sucks about this is if we catch on fire and if it's dry this summer, that's going to make me mad. Oh.
Yeah, that's no good. Yeah, Montana does like to burn.
Oh God, so ridiculous. And then I'm in the fireworks business in the summer, and so dry is not good. Dry is not good.
Well,
You have been banned.
64 Fahrenheit. That's what you guys are, Fahrenheit, isn't it? So 18 degrees or 64 Fahrenheit here.
Oh,
that's
wow.
cold for us.
That's
summer
cool.
for you.
That's summertime. Yeah.
It's summer.
That's a cool summer.
Yeah, it's cold.
That is my
No
favorite
sun.
temperature.
That's your favorite temperature?
Pretty much. Well, you know what?
Degrees?
64.
18 Celsius.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Is your favorite temperature? Okay.
Well, it used to be when I was about 264 pounds heavier. Now I'm finding myself a little more cold.
Yeah, I'm feeling the cold a lot now.
Did we talk about this last time I was on? I think so. When I was young, I used to like the heat. I would hang out. Where'd Mama go? Okay. I would hang out at the pool. It'd be 106. I would love it. But now, no, thank you. So
yeah, it's not fair. I can't tell if it's my old age or the weight loss or both of it. But yeah, I'm not. We're not dealing with the cold like we used to deal with cold. You know, I remember being 17, 18, and
16.
Yeah, and we were working. I specifically remember this roughing on this duplex, and it was Halloween night, and this thing was slab on grade, which makes the difference because when there's just no heat, like when concrete gets cold, it is a ice box, and it was it was negative 31 degrees on Halloween night that year.
Nice.
And we were freezing to death on this roughing. There's no windows, wind's just whipping through this place, and we're roughing in. And I'm wearing a t-shirt, a pair of uninsulated bib Carhartt overalls, and negative 31 because I was always so hot back then when I was just always burning up. But my skin, when they used to call me the chimney because I'd walk around and steam would be rolling off of my head. It looked like I had a chimney piped out of my head because I was pushing out so much heat. Because I was big and I was working and just heat was just coming out of my head. But I was using a Milwaukee whole hog, and I was drilling, and my hands were frozen, but my head was hot. And I had a utility knife, and I opened it up, and my hands were so cold I needed to change the blade on the utility knife to get the new blades. How they store the blades inside. So I couldn't get the blades back in. And so, like an idiot, I opened up my bib pockets on my chest and I dropped the 3 blades in there and just closed it up on my bib pockets, the brand new blades. And I wasn't thinking, I was just in a hurry because I couldn't fit them back in the utility knife. And I was just trying to get my utility knife back because I was stripping off the outside Romex. Well, I went back to drilling, and all of a sudden I feel something warm all over my stomach. I'm like, what is going on? And I look down, and my whole chest is covered in blood. What was happening was is I'd use my chest to smack that drill with, push it to the
Oh,
stud, and I shoved all 3 of those razor blades down straight into my skin, all the way down. There's only, the razor blades are about that long, and there's only a tip
golly.
sticking out, and I shoved them straight down into my stomach. I was looking down, I was bleeding like a sieve, and so I pulled my pouch off. I had to flip my bibs over like this, and they're kind
Yes,
of pulling
Renee.
on. Yeah, pull them down, lifted up my shirt, and there's the tip of those 3 razor blades that are just sticking out of my skin. So I grabbed my needle nose and I pulled them out like this, and I'm just bleeding. And I was like, all right, I got to do something. Back in the day, my favorite thing to do for stuff like that was super glue it. Super glue would close that stuff up in a hurry. And so
Sure.
I went out to the truck, and I'm sitting there bleeding all over my truck because I got the super glue on the heat vent trying to thaw it out because it's so damn cold.
Frozen.
Yep.
Yeah, so I
Everything's
sat
frozen.
there, and I'm bleeding, and I'm wiping this blood off, and I finally super glue this hole together and put it back together. I put my shirt down, I put my bib overalls down, and go back to work. We finish out the day. I go home. I'm frozen. I didn't even feel them go in. There was no pain at any time. I was so frozen, I didn't feel nothing. I was gone. I go home that night. I'm at my brother's house, and I take off my hat and I take off my bibs, flop them down, and then I pull off the t-shirt. I didn't let the glue dry before I put the t-shirt down. So I had glued the t-shirt right to the wound, and I ripped it wide open again, just a bloody mess in my brother's living room. Oh, it was the most miserable thing. But I think about
When's your book coming out?
I should. I just think about those days, right? Because it was so cold back then, and you just worked through it. You didn't care when you were young.
Right.
You just didn't care. Nothing hurt you. Nothing fazed you. You just go to work, and now if I get salt in a paper cut, I'm like, I'm making a problem over it. And now
Yes.
all of a sudden 60 degrees starts feeling cold. It's crazy stuff lately.
Yep. You're getting soft.
I am getting soft. It's not.
I got salt in my paperclip. So what do you get? You got to run straight to Facebook and post it.
Yeah, exactly. And say why I'm a victim. A victim of paper cuts and salts.
Correct. We need a law.
We need a law to save me from the
If
paper
I'm
that hurt me.
elected, there'll be no more salt in paper cuts.
No,
Vote for me.
But yeah, I don't know. It's those days. It's just I think about that stuff a lot now when we hire people and they tell you about problems and stuff at work, and I'm like, you don't have problems. You haven't seen problems,
You're hired.
Yeah, I remember my dad lost all the skin off of his hand from here down one time because he was working on the VA hospital in Miles City, Montana, and he was putting a hot tar roof down, and he tripped, and while he was holding the bucket of boiling tar, and he shoved his hand in there, and it filled his glove up with tar. And he pulled his glove off like this to get to his hand, and
pulled all the skin off. Oh my god!
It came off to like a glove.
Yep, all the skin came off just with the glove, and it just pulled all the skin off. And that dude had that thing wrapped up and was back to work 48 hours later.
Wow!
Yeah, what? He was. It's just crazy shit. Crazy shit.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be taking some days off.
He needed them.
Workman's comp, something.
Oh, we didn't have such fancy things like that back then.
No.
We did, but we weren't on them. These were side jobs, under the table jobs,
Yes.
Those types of things.
You got to finance your Norwegian
exactly
crime factory family stuff.
Yeah, but it was funny. I mean, just back in the day, there's so many funny things. In Miles City, Montana, was hilarious. There was like illegal underground gambling that everybody knew about, right? So there's blackjack games going on in the bars they would hide, and then there was brothels, prostitutes, right? And
Oh, sure.
yeah, and
Why
my
not?
dad would talk about it, and he goes, so everybody, all these men would come to Miles City, Montana, and say that they were hunting, right? And so my dad would work for a butcher who made a bunch of money because they kept a deer out back behind the butcher, so that the hunters could all take a
Pictures.
picture with the deer,
Oh.
with their rifles and the deer, and then they would sell them meat to take home because that was their
Right.
cover story, that they were on a Montana hunting trip so that they could go to the brothels and gamble in the bars and do all this debauchery, you know. Dad's
Wow.
about those days.
Wow. Sounds like a Western movie, except what, 1992?
Right.
Oh no, this would have been when my dad was younger, so it would have been
75.
yeah, my dad was, I think he's born in 44.
Oh,
So
wow.
this
Okay.
would have been like 65 to 70, somewhere in there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So
How old
yeah,
are you, Todd?
I'm 40. But
No
they were
way.
still,
Okay.
yeah. Do I not look 40?
Yeah, I didn't think you were that old.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm 40. I
Okay.
my dad was trying to think how old he was when he passed, but I think he was 72 or 73 when he passed. But yeah, he had some of the best stories. My favorite story of my dad's was when I was young, and this when I when I was young, I was homeschooled, right? I've never been to a public school a day in my life, and I was homeschooled to I was like 11, and then my dad just put us to work, you know. And so my dad was my teacher or whatever.
There you go. Yeah.
But I had friends around the neighborhood, and one of my friends was, you know, I'm a fat kid, right? And one of my friends was selling those candy bars that you sell, you know, like there's
Yeah.
three different types.
Fundraiser.
Yeah, exactly. He had three different types of candy bars. And then so I didn't, you know, I like, this is out of my wheelhouse, but he's like, hey, I gotta go, you know, because I was like, hey, let's go hang out, ride bikes, whatever, light out fireworks. And he's like, no, I gotta go sell these candy bars. And I'm like, what do you mean candy bars? What do you got going on here? You know, so he shows me these candy bars, and he's like, yeah, these ones are $1, these ones are 75 cents, these are $1.25, and we got to go door to door and sell them, and then we save the money. And if I sell 600 of them, I get a, you know, like a baseball or some stupid thing. And
Yeah.
I was like, let me help you with that. And so we went out there, and so I put a quarter markup on every bar. I'm like, what we're going to do is we're going to sell these ones for $1, these ones for $1.25, and these ones for $1.50. And then I'm like, for every fifth bar we sell, we get to eat one, right?
The Norwegian crime family lives.
Exactly. So I put a quarter markup on all the bars, and I went and helped them.
Oh my gosh.
We sold candy bars all day, and now I'm like, we have an incentive because
In the name of charity.
in the name of charity, we put a markup on them, and it wasn't to make money, it was to get free candy bars. Because I'm like, look, every fifth bar we sell, we can have one of these, or every third one we sell, we can have one of these, or every fourth one we sell, we can have one of these. And so I'm fat kid now. I put a
Oh my
markup
God.
on the bars, and I'm paying ourselves in chocolate. Right? So
Like, this is a gold mine.
yeah, so we go through this, and our plan is going spectacularly. And I'm like, let's split up. And so we're both doing each side of the street, because now I'm pumped up because we got a business going on here. And we're selling candy. And so we work all these streets. We go down, and we sold a lot of bars that day. We sold 60 or
Sure.
70 bars that day.
Mhm.
And we had a little stash, and we were sitting there picking out on our spoils because we kept the books and we knew how many candy bars we could get. And
Yeah.
then I go home, and I'm standing at the door, and there's a knock on our door at my house. And it's this kid and his mom, and she's pissed because some customer ratted us out and said, you know, because their kids were selling them too, and found out what we were selling them for. And so they ratted us out. And anyhow, it was just the greatest thing ever, because they came up to my dad, and he's,
Yeah.
you know, I hadn't told him anything about this, and so he's like, what's going on now? And Dad's like, what did you do? And I'm like, we put a markup on the candy bars. And I'm like, he's like, what candy bars? He's like, I was talking to Jeremy. He had these candy bars to sell. I asked him if he was getting paid, and I did, and he said no. I'm like, well, that's bull crap. We're working for nothing. So, so I was like, we put a markup on them so that every 4 candy bars roughly, we got one, so that we had an incentive. We had a little skin in the game, right? And so yeah, my dad was laughing, and this woman is pissed. And she's like, how your son talked my son into it. And he goes, hey, he's a businessman. And Dad just shut the door on him. And then I sat there, and Dad's laughing his butt off. And he's like, well, I said, I got to tell you a story. He's like, when I was young, he said, he goes, I was like 7 or 8 years old. And he said he was in Stanley, North Dakota is where he grew up. And he said he was 7 or 8 years old, and this kid had a lock on the paper route, right? My dad wanted that paper route, but it was such a small town. There's like a 3-year waiting list for the paper route. And so there was like 3 or 4 kids in front of my dad to take this paper out when this kid quit. So he went to this kid, I think his name was Larry, and Dad said, I told him, I said, look, because word came down that he was quitting. And so my dad said, look, don't quit. I'll take over your paper route for you. I'll do it for you. And he would get $1.25 a week for delivering the paper. Dad said, I'll give you 25 cents a week and I'll deliver them for $1. And you'll get it 25 cents a week for doing nothing. And so Larry's like, okay, good deal.
Yeah.
And the bus driver would come into town and he would drop the papers off at the cafe where my dad's mom worked. And so my dad would go in there early in the morning. He'd pick up the papers, but he never delivered a single one. What he would do is he would take the papers, he would wrap them up, and he would go through all the cafes in town and sell them to the people, the old men that were sitting there. He would sell them papers in the morning for a nickel a piece. And then
he's double dipping.
Yeah, and then he would go out. He would go out at night and he'd go to all the bars afternoon and where everybody was at, and he would sell the people in the bars the paper. So he started making a nickel a paper, and then after 2 o'clock, he would take all of his money and he'd go get candy and go to see a movie every day. And so Dad was doing this, and he was paying off Larry. Well, the papers start piling up, and it takes several weeks, and it finally gets back. But who takes the fall for it? Well, Larry's on the books.
Of course. Yes. What a setup.
Yeah, so my dad was laughing. He goes,
brilliant.
He goes, don't do that anymore, but I get it.
Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
That's funny.
I was laughing.
Oh my gosh.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I had repeated my father's sins and the candy bar business.
Apparently, yeah. Yeah, I mean, did you see Bliss's comment about the Viking Syndicate? So
I didn't.
yeah, right there.
That would be great.
I think that's the name of your book.
Oh, it was so funny. Gosh, I remember. I still laugh about it, but I was like, yeah,
he's only 40 years old and he still does. He's 40 years old and Todd's already going, hey, Trad, I remember back in, I guess it was 1984, I think it was.
Shoot, I was only one in 1984. I was born in 1983.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. It's a pretty good memory then.
Just your baby.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I do laugh about that just because that was my first entrepreneurial, capitalist move that I ever made.
And you make us laugh too. So there's that. I gotta go, you guys. I have so much work.
See you, Mike.
And then, of course, I'm gonna watch the game probably, but I'll be listening.
Right. We're wrapping it up. We appreciate you coming on.
Take care, Mike.
Thanks for letting me on. I love you guys. We'll talk soon.
Man. We'll see you. Bye.
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 We're 20 minutes over, so we've done pretty well.
Overtime, Lindy.
Oh, did we? I thought it was 2:20 right now. 2 hours.
Oh, you need those glasses.
How long have we been on?
3 hours, 20 minutes.
Almost 21, yeah.
That's a 3?
Yes.
That's
Overtime. Overtime pay, Lindy. We can get some
Yeah.
sticks this
Wow.
week.
I
I
was
want some chili to be sent. Yeah, some chili.
Yeah.
wow. I didn't realize that. I'm way
Time
behind.
goes fast. Time flies when you're having fun.
That's right, Arlene. It's overtime pay.
Yeah.
You're gonna get extra pictures of meat this week, Michael. uh, right?
So
Moonshine. Yep.
yeah, we're all caught up on the comments too, so it should be good.
Perfect. Yeah, back in the day. Oh, why can I get this off the screen? Who's clicking buttons?
Nobody.
Not me.
All you, buddy. It's all you.
Oh man. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a much better person now than that 7-year-old candy pusher, but
hmm
yeah, it was funny. I mean, you guys will do a lot for chocolate bars.
Best way to do it.
You can get corrupted over chocolate bars.
Yep.
Oh man. Well, I appreciate you guys coming out.
And thanks
May
to
I
everyone
guess
who
today?
jumped on and said hello. It was lovely to meet all of you. Yeah,
Yeah.
Deb and Mama Cracker. We hadn't met you before, so nice to have you.
We had Deb. We had Mike.
Yeah.
Pearl.
Successful,
Yeah.
successful day. And we'll be
Yeah.
back next Sunday. And I don't know. We keep saying it, but we're gonna work on doing some interviews here soon, so that'll be fun. So our subscribers and stuff, I'd like to give first dibs too. So if you got a carnivore, journey that you've been on for 6 months or so, we'd kind of like to hear from you because we got to help spread the news. So definitely let us know if you ever want to do an interview. And yeah. Oh, Michael made a short video for me out of the funny jokes from the little stories from last week. I appreciate you guys watching that. Let me know if you want that to keep
Yoking
going.
around with Todd, yeah.
Yoking around.
Yeah.
Yoking around.
If
And,
you want to have some more stories, let us know and you can pop some videos in for you. Make some new videos.
perfect. Yeah, would like to know that for sure. We start putting those in there, and yeah, I don't know. Fun things coming. Fun times. So we appreciate you guys. And next week, probably have Maya on or Maya. Sorry, Maria.
Yeah. As long as she's back on her feet. Yeah, she's quite sick at the moment. So Paul as well, she'll be with us next week for sure. Yeah, she's
Perfect.
very disappointed she couldn't make it today.
If not, we'll do an interview.
Yeah, sounds good.
Maybe we can interview Michael.
Yeah, there we go.
Michael's already on.
No, not the Mike we're going to talk about.
We want you exclusive Michael interview.
Todd needs to open up his wallet.
You want the dust and receipts that are in there? No
That's
worries.
good.
But we will see you guys next Sunday, same bat place, same bat channel. And
Same bad time.
Same bad time. We
Okay.
appreciate y'all, love y'all, and we'll see you next time.
We do.
See ya.
Night, guys.